Okay, that feels pretty good to me. How does it feel to you?
Feels fantastic.
Yeah, you're in your fucking... What? All right. Is it real suede? What is that?
This is velour down like the Sheik of Iran. Velour on velour.
You're a very specific man. You know that, right? You're just... I like people who are very specific. You're a very specific person. You like what you like.
Yeah. I had it in red, but I had to stop wearing it around Christmas because people were calling me Santa Claus in the summer. I didn't want to give an opportunity to do it in December.
Right, exactly.
So I got the black one to match.
Yeah. This is a nice spot, man. This
Thanks.
is really fucking... I'm jealous as a motherfucker. Do you really have a picture of Mac Dre on your wall?
Look at the frame. Look at the frame.
That is a gorgeous frame.
Yeah.
So I am... welcome, everybody, to episode 39 of Conservatish. My name is Peter Feliciano, and I'm your host. Our guest today is Mark, again.
Again.
And this is... What's going on? That is a nice frame. And what is the... is that a drawing of Mac Dre?
Yeah, it's originally, some kind of pencil or charcoal. I found that, came up on that along the way. Now, the frame is got to be 70s. It had
really?
a child's painting in it, I believe. Horrible painting by this child. It was not good artwork at all. But
it's a perfect size.
It came. Oh yeah, it worked out. It came out of a donation pile, I think. Probably was in somebody's house for the past 40 years. Looks much better with the Mac in it.
Yeah. Mac Dre, full of the Hennessy. 18, making raps till I'm 80 though. So you actually grew up on Bay Area hip hop?
No. Remember last time I slept on it for a long time.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I fully came in through East Coast stuff and
Right.
worked my way back to where I'm from.
Right. Whoa. Is that just something you have playing on your TV right now?
If you've never experienced the Apple TV screensavers, you're missing
they're
out.
screensavers.
Yeah.
Okay.
They fly a drone slow motion. They change them up every...
No, that's not real.
You never get sick of them. That's real. They fly
Was that
through
Dubai?
London. They fly through Dubai. They fly through...
What the fuck? That looks like a simulation.
Yeah. Well, the best of the best of the best. And the slow motion does something, but I stare at them all the time.
Oh my God. Man, this is a nice life you have here. Fucking velour, Mac Dre. Jesus, capitalism's working well for you.
I built this shit, man.
It's fucking great, man. Look at that mirror too. That's small things like that, but that's a legit size mirror too.
Yeah. Somebody
did you find
did
that
it
too?
No. Somebody did that custom whenever this place was built. It was like he had it done.
Wow, this is awesome. And you've been here 3 years?
Yeah, it's got to be over 3 now. It might be over 4. I'm losing track of time. It's moving so fast.
What do you have a second TV over here?
That was the original TV.
And you just don't want to take it out?
Yeah, I figured it's got to look.
Just 2 TVs?
There's a splitter. So you can get like a sports bar thing going on.
Right.
But I never have people over or watch sports. But
right.
It's possible.
This would be a great little fucking, not party, but this would be like a nice little, like a get together, if you will.
If I was still getting fucked up, it'd be a great party place.
Right. Ew, look, that's LA. Oh no, it's San Francisco. Okay. Because I was going to say that.
Appropriate response.
Right. I don't like LA though. I don't like LA, and I'm starting to not like San Francisco. I don't know if you've had a chance. Was I talking about this last time we recorded? I was thinking of moving to New York.
You just briefly mentioned it.
Well, I'm getting more serious about it. I actually made the decision officially that I'm going to move this year in September. Or August, but probably September.
And
but
this
it's
is
fucking scary as a
This is
motherfucker.
for what?
Music, comedy. This is for being with a different set of people, a different, more fun set of people. I'm serious, dude. San Francisco is... I was ranting about it last week. But on the newest episode, I talked about it. I texted this girl, and I was joking about something. I'm sorry, everybody, by the way, that I ranted as long as I did for that, because it was by myself. I did the episode by myself.
Oh, I have not heard the solo podcast yet.
Well, people seem to like it, but still. I keep thinking, like, I'm just literally sitting alone in my car with this device, this is the second episode I've recorded this on. And I just was ranting about it. I had texted this broad that day and made a joke, like something, and I said bitches in the joke. And she's like, I don't appreciate that you call women and I'm just like, fucking get away from me.
Not even in direct reference to a real person.
No, not to her. I didn't say, hey, bitch. Like, I didn't even... I just said, these bitches can't tie me down. And then I don't appreciate... fucking...
Yeah, there's a lot of fun killers out here.
Fun what in the who?
Fun killers.
Fun killers, yeah. Fucking wet blankets. Why can't people understand... Why can't... Is it just me? Here's what I really think it is. I think it's women. I don't think it's okay, let me rephrase that. I think it's femininity. I could be wrong about this, but let me extrapolate.
Go with it.
So, I think it's femininity in general. Anybody who's going to say, I don't think that's inappropriate. Anybody who says inappropriate that way is either a female or it's a dude who's not masculine.
I'd like to supplement. What did you say?
It's either
offensive. No, what was the word?
Oh, inappropriate.
Inappropriate. My favorite is problematic.
Yeah. But nobody who has that condition, nobody who's that way is a dude, like a fucking dude.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying all women do that, but the people who do it are women.
You can say man. It's all right to say man.
No, I know, but I'm saying, like, no dude does that. No man, fucking, like, real ass motherfucker gets upset about Louis C.K. making Parkland jokes. No real ass motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no dude. The dudes are busy, like, with life and working hard. Like, I mean, a lot of women work very hard, but like, there's something about.
Yeah, it's a feminization of the whole society. That's for sure.
Thank you. I actually had somebody a few weeks ago. I had Jerry, formerly of the Proud Boys, on again, and then somebody unfriended me and messaged, instead of conservative-ish, you should call it alt-right-ish. I'm just like, you're just bad people. You can't be good people.
Didn't listen to the episode.
Did you listen to the first one with the Proud Boy?
I mean, your critic.
Oh, no, they didn't listen.
No,
they didn't listen to either one.
No.
They didn't listen to the episodes. I had another female ex-girlfriend, apparently a good friend, who hasn't listened to any of the episodes and is afraid to because of some of the things that I've posted. Like, afraid to because she's afraid she's going to hear something that she disagrees with. Like, you know what I mean? Afraid that I've gone crazy and that I've gone conservative. Like...
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why it's such a... Like, it really is. I feel like a fucking paranoid... I feel like the stereotypical, alt-right or stereotypical MAGA guy by saying this, but I'm telling you the fucking truth. It's literally legit. It is a derangement. It is a derangement to think that way, to be that liberal and just have the horse blinders on and just not even want to be in contact, even though you fucking know me, bitch. Yeah. Like, you have spent time with me.
Yeah.
I sang at your fucking wedding, and you're still... And you're like, I don't even want to... You're alt-right. I can't scream how many times. Just listen to the fucking... There's ish is at the end of the word of the title of the fucking...
Not good enough. God, not unless anti is in front of it. You could probably put anti-liberal or anti-liberalish and it would be better.
If I just added more so that people really got even more confused.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, I can't even... Facebook stopped me from... Like, I had to... Because the name of the title of the podcast, I had to...
Oh, don't say it.
I had to get it a certain... I had to get... wow. Dude, this TV is the shit.
That's just Apple TV.
Where is this? This is like Africa or something. This is like a... Oh, my God. I'm sorry.
That's outer space.
I can't even do the podcast if I'm fucking looking at this goddamn TV. But Facebook, in order to put on ads that are politically oriented, you have to provide your address. which is a couple of weeks process. And so I provided, because they don't, I guess that's their way of making sure no Russian bots.
Aha.
Right. Because that was the problem, not that Hillary was a fucking douchebag. But so they I provided my address. I went through the process of getting address verification and blah 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 blah. They sent me the letter. I put in the code. Blah blah blah. Couple months go by, or like a month goes by. I try to make another ad because I'm verified, right? I've verified my fucking address.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, something's wrong. And so I had to send an email. Like, it's like such a pain in the ass just to. Already, people who like my page, people who follow me on social media can't find my posts.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll play your fucking faggot ass game. I'll pay money in order to have the people who follow me see the things
already
that I
have,
post,
yeah.
right? And yet, that's not good enough either. They don't even want my money. They don't even want my $20 or my $30 towards like showing the people who already like me. And it's not even guaranteed that a bunch of people are going to like me. It also has to be the right type of post. Like, it can't just be, a video with words on it or an audio with, you know what I mean? Like, it has to be the right, people have to like it, and
Oh, sure.
there has to be
Yeah,
money
there's
on it.
normal things you have to worry about before you bring all this psycho shit into it.
It's just fucked up, man.
Well, speaking of Russian bots, so you remember, or do you remember the Roy Moore, Doug Jones Senate race
Good Lord, yeah, it was a while ago.
in Alabama? It was a while ago, right?
Right.
So it's officially come out, and leftist
What has officially come out?
funders of, people poured a lot into that race, They forged yearbook signatures for that race,
Wait a second. We didn't even talk about this last time.
No, because it's old and it's done. And
right, we were talking about Kavanaugh last time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is Doug Jones.
Take off my boots. That's all right with you? Okay.
Settle in, bro.
All right.
Settle in.
So what happened with Roy Moore?
So Roy Moore, this is down south.
Yes, sir. Alabama?
I think Alabama. Alabama, right?
Fucking Bama.
First Democrat. Doug Jones won. Roy Moore lost. First Democrat elected there in forever, basically.
Right.
So it's come to light and come to shown that leftist groups used all the tactics that they say the Russians did with the Facebook ads and the bots against Roy Moore.
Okay.
And swayed the election, including buying thousands of Twitter accounts to look like Russians and then writing stories that Roy Moore was being followed and his campaign was boosted by Russians, which they created. So they created their own Russian hoax better than the Russians did in American politics, and one of the main funders of the groups has formally come out and apologized and said, I'm disgusted. Doug Jones himself has says, I will prosecute anyone who was, of course, he's saying this from the seat,
Right.
But it's completely out there. They created their own Russian hoax 10 times better than the Russians could have did it, and did it to our own people.
Where did you find verification of this? So
I saw Doug Jones apologize first.
Wow.
So
Okay, now he apologized, so was he involved?
He was, I doubt he was involved. I really do. This was like people working on his behalf.
Right.
But I saw his
in
apology
general, but
first.
Democrats, like the people who would do that, don't even give a fuck what his platform is. They just want the right person in there. They want a D by the person's name.
Anti-Roy Moore.
Right.
Not pro any. Yeah.
Right.
That's why you should just change it to anti-leftish.
Anti-leftish.
As long as you're killing fun and hating and being anti, you can gain a lot of support around here. Or you could just move to New York and live your life.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing, is that even though New York is very liberal, there's a mix of people. So here's what I've talked about. There's motherfuckers in the Bay Area. Sure, you'll have Indian, you'll have black, but the differences between New York, well, lots of difference, but one of the main differences is that, yeah, there are different races over here, but they're the same fucking culture. Indian, Chinese, white, whatever it is, all with the same iTunes, the same Apple earbuds in, all watching the same fucking Bird Box, all doing the exact same thing. They have the same culture across the board.
They have Apple in New York.
They do, but there's legit ass black people, there's legit ass Puerto Ricans, there's legit ass Jews. Like there's different cultures, and then the cultures mix. Rather than here, everyone gets homogenized culture wise. You know what I mean? Like it's an actual mix over there. So you have to learn how to get along, and you realize on a tactile basis, because you're on the train with someone who voted for Trump. You're on the train with someone, like you go to the fucking bodega where someone, where there's a Muslim or there's a Jew or there's a whatever. Whereas over here, it's like we don't even want to see somebody. We'll fucking imagine the story. You can't, like, anybody who's you see those videos of somebody stealing somebody's MAGA hat or whatever. That's never in the Bay. No one even has the balls to wear it in the Bay. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't even happen. Imagine the fucking shock and awe. So people would move to a different BART train. More people would move to a different BART train if someone was wearing a MAGA hat than the pee-smelling motherfucker that's on the BART train right now. Have you ever walked into a BART train and someone just had urinated and the homeless smell?
That, and I've done the urinating also. I've been on both sides of that coin.
Yeah,
I haven't worn a MAGA hat.
Look at your
on
wonderful
the train.
house. Look at your wonderful house.
Oh, life is possible. Anything can happen. It could all be gone tomorrow too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's feeling a lot more real to me.
Oof.
Everything just feels way more, just not even more fragile, but just I'm way more aware that everything could just go wrong in a second. And the only flip side is that anything good can happen the next second too. But
sure,
it's exciting.
But do you mean on like a tactile basis? Like why do I say tactile? But are you saying like on a basis of if you started getting high again, or are you saying?
Oh, that's a guarantee.
Yeah, that's a guarantee.
But I mean, just from a
like tweeting the wrong thing, or
spiritual or mental point of view.
Right.
I mean, if my mindset gets ruined, if anybody's mindset gets trashed, you can make 12 bad decisions in a day that alter the rest of your life.
Right. And yet that's another thing too. I am choosing to put, Jim, I was listening to Jim and Sam the other day. Anybody who chooses to put themselves to speak in public is a stupid ass. Like the fact that at least you're staying anonymous. Like people can find me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, and social media is doing its damnedest to like, oh, he had conservative in the fucking, like, I'm not just being a paranoid asshole. That's some real ass shit going down. Yeah. And it's just, sorry, continue.
You saw they went to Tucker's house.
I know.
That was one of the craziest things I've ever witnessed.
So creepy. So, did you see any? I mean, I don't watch any CNN. Unless like I'm at 24-hour fitness and I accidentally look at that and I'm just like, eh. But like, was there any people on the left who were getting mad at that? Was there anybody who was outspoken, even though they're Democrat, who was like, hey, don't go to this motherfucker's house?
I did not hear any outspoken people.
Okay.
I have not. I know that nobody was arrested. I know that Tucker was a saint about it, considering he wasn't home. It was just his wife and his kid.
His wife and his fucking child.
Banging on the door. Whole mob outside your house.
Whoa. Creepy.
This episode brought to you by Apple.
Was that Alexa or was that
Siri?
Sorry, continue. Already, sorry, continue. So, they went to his house. They were banging on the door.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a pitchfork scene. There's an angry mob on your front lawn.
What were they saying? Was it a race angle? Was it a trans angle?
It was his, I think he had called immigrants dirty or something. It was something he was saying about immigration. And he wanted his hate speech taken off the air.
That they're going to dirty Yeah, I remember that one. That was after that?
Yeah, that was like the match that lit that.
Okay, all right. Obviously, they were mad about a million different things before then, but that's fucking crazy. You're Googling it?
Yeah. House by mob. Racist scumbag. New York Post is talking bad, but they always go both ways.
Oh, they do? That's good to know. See, imagine a paper in the Bay Area that did that stuff.
Well, I mean, it's always garbage, but they go both ways. They just go...
Okay. It's a TMZ that's sometimes on our side. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
The hot trash angle. Ordering him to leave town at his house.
Ordering him?
You just got to see the video. It's
I started to watch it.
straight frightening, and when you think about it being your house, it's infuriating.
Right.
He brushed it off like it was nothing.
Have they come back?
No.
Yeah. Have you had any run-ins with more leftists recently?
No, I've worn my MAGA hat out, got breakfast, and
Is it a black 45 or is it a legit? Does it say MAGA?
I have the California edition, which is just red on red 45. You know, it's kind of low key, but I've worn the real deal out. And
have you really? You've worn the MAGA hat?
Yeah. Nothing from nobody.
Really? Any weird looks?
Not that I could really tell.
Okay. Did you wear it like at a Starbucks or where you didn't?
Just around town, around better part of town, I guess, but still.
Right.
Nobody was tripping.
That's interesting. Yeah, I saw one guy. I did see one guy at the Chipotle like maybe 3 weeks ago, and I wanted to stop him and just, like talk to him, but he was with his family. I keep running into these like either cops or people with MAGA. Like I want to have more service people. I want to have more people on that angle. You know what I mean? I just want to talk to like. When did you get your MAGA hat? Like, was it the election time?
No, it's been like in the past 8 months.
Okay.
I don't really like hats, so it doesn't work for me, that part of it. But
even though you're so hip hop, you don't like hats?
I never did the straight barrel or the 1,000 hats hung on my wall. I never did any of that shit.
What about like a bowler? Or not like I could see you with.
I had one of those little cabbie hats. I had one of those.
Okay. Oh, you mean like a Kangol?
Like a Stacey Adams. It's like smaller than a Kangol, but it's the same type of deal.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I could see you in that. I could see you in a fucking Indiana Jones hat.
I'll get there one day. I need to get a little more older and distinguished. No, I was always a beanie guy.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Do they have a MAGA beanie?
No, they have MAGA Christmas hats. I saw a MAGA fisherman, but a fisherman bucket, but I don't think it was legit. I think somebody bootlegged it.
I gotta tell you, that's another thing. I searched, like, I found someone tagged someone who's like babes or babes for Trump on Instagram. There's some hot ass bitches, and I looked on Instagram, leftist babes or babes for Bernie. That does not exist. It's a bunch of like only the hot chicks are for. There's some cute leftist girls, but they're not like trying. They're not like cute, like fucking hot.
No, and the ones that, what makes me sad is when they try hard to not be cute. That's just, why are you going against nature like this?
If there was a babes for Bernie, even the cute ones would be like, when like a girl just puts her hair up like she's going to Safeway or she's going to 24 Hour, like it's hair's up and there's wisps all over the place, and she's wearing like a hoodie that's like a double XL. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like even if she's wearing spandex pants, like it's she's not trying. She's just going to the store real quick and come back.
No, non-political women are by far the hottest, but when it comes down to it, there's no contest.
There really isn't. Have you found any females who are Trump supporters?
I've turned out a few.
Interesting.
At least to views,
Okay.
But
like
definitely
certain pieces.
Definitely change some minds. I mean, when you know somebody,
right.
Which is why if you sung at this girl's fucking wedding and she can't and won't listen to your episode, that just goes to show right there. As soon as you know somebody and you talk to them about shit, you're able to hear them, Or
right.
if you're super racist and you go hang out with a bunch of people that you're like, oh my god, they're just regular people, Like
right.
That's how this works.
I feel like it should fucking count for something.
It counts for everything.
But when you have fear like that, when you compound your life with so much, I can't even see things that I disagree with. How are you supposed to live your life like that? I guess it's disappointing, and it also feels. So I know a piece of it is my ego. I know a piece of it is my ego thinking like everybody needs to like me. So I know that's fucking a piece of it, right? Okay. I know another piece of it. So that's a bad shit. That's bad. That's not good.
Yeah.
I know another piece of it is that it makes me almost feel like maybe I shouldn't have labeled the podcast this. Oh. But then again, I feel better that it's called that because
it's what it is.
It's what it is, right? I feel I wouldn't want it just to be the Peter Feliciano pie. How fucking bland would that be?
No.
Oh, I wonder who that guy is that I've never fucking heard about. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I remember when you messaged me about wanting to do this, and that was the impetus. That's what started this. It'd be disrespectful and dishonest to not.
Yeah. Right. But then I've also had episodes where we don't talk about politics at all. You know what I mean? I want it to be, sure, I want to be able to dip into politics, and especially to dip into the right side or the centrist side of politics as often as I want to. But I don't want to, I also want to have people on and just talk about their fucking life. You know what I mean?
Culture. Politics is downstream from culture.
Right.
Any episode that you've gone into, once you start digging into the real and culture and people's lives and societal norms and I forget what the topic was, but something that makes people's buttholes pucker, you instantly think of politics, especially nowadays, you know? I never gave politics 2 seconds of thought. It could all go
Trump.
to hell. Yeah.
That's fucking
Before
crazy.
Trump and Bernie. It took both of them, you know?
Right. You're totally off the Bernie altogether.
Oh, yeah.
Like if he is it his socialism, right? That's really what it mostly is.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought his policies were good anyways, but I was down to just fuck the system up
Just flip the
either
board
way.
over. Right.
But now that Trump turned out to be an amazing at his job, there's no question.
I do see him. One of the things I gotta say too, I know we talked about it last time too, but like the motherfucker has some balls. When he posted the other day that meme with Warren, where it says 200.
2020. Our president is memeing in real life. And that was
balls on the motherfucker.
That was the first shot of Meme War 3, so motherfuckers are on notice. The president of the United States tweeted out a meme destroying the first person to even think about stepping up to him.
That's really what it is. It's a shot directly in the face just to say, who else wants some? That's all it is. It's amazing the move he got, dude.
Oh. You didn't see the real life memeing he did.
What do you mean the real life memeing?
About 2 months ago, he tweeted out a picture that's like Game of Thrones, except it says sanctions are coming, and it has a date, okay? It's like a movie poster, Game of Thrones, sanctions are coming.
And he said the wall is coming, I think, too.
And now the wall is coming, okay.
Okay.
But he made a poster of the sanctions are coming, and in a press conference he did last week, the poster was just on the table. Full-size poster in front of him on the table. No one spoke a word about it. He does an entire press conference with a meme on the fucking table, like dicks out on the table.
You got to understand non-Trump supporters. You have to understand this. He can do business. He can be the negotiation at the negotiation table, and he can fucking kill it. He's been doing it. It's not... Like, obviously, lots of business folk lose lots. Like, I know before the election, that was one of the big things that they were pushing out is that fuck Trump because, okay, he's a businessman. Look at all these businesses that whatever, relax. Yeah. Like, but the motherfucker can do business, and he's doing it, dude. He's fucking tap dancing. He literally posted that meme, and everybody, nobody's feeling Warren. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's feeling, especially after that beer video.
Yeah.
What a fucking faggy move that was. I'm going to go get a beer.
I guess
Watch
I'll get a
me.
beer.
Oh, see how fucking relatable I am?
There's my hubby. No, she's the 4th person that's done a cooking and beer live stream. So
really?
The talking point went out. They must all be using the same publicist. Oof. Be relatable with the kids, do a live stream, and be cooking in the kitchen. Even Beto did one like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, but Trump didn't do that. Here's what it is. Trump, although it feels like he kind of gets, like he understands the culture angle, but he's not desperate.
No.
You know what I mean? He's not like, oh, I'll do a live stream. Oh, well, like he can like meme real quick. So like he gets the culture, but he gets the culture a lot better, even though he's 70. That's so weird.
Because it's not getting the culture, it's just being cool. The guy's cool as fuck. And if you would have asked people 8 years ago, is Donald Trump cool as fuck? They'd be like, yeah, the guy's cool as fuck.
You know what? That's a good point. When he was doing Apprentice.
Oh, Apprentice cool as fuck. Back in the 80s, cool as fuck.
Yeah.
10 Playboy models on your arm at every event just because? Cool as fuck.
Right. God damn it, that makes sense. And all these people who have turned tail on him. There's a lot of like stars. Kathy fucking Griffin, who was on the show with him. You know what I mean? Like,
she's bad
she didn't stand up for the rights of trans and women and blacks back then. I don't understand what like changed.
And no one's going against it now. I keep hearing he's an anti-gay president, and
yeah,
I hear much more gay support for him, but that's the circles I'm rolling in. But as far as anti-gay, he's done absolutely zero anti-gay. He doesn't want transgenders in the military, a population that has like 400% higher suicide rates, guaranteed meds and hormones, and a guaranteed major, if you want to call it medical or experimental procedure in the future. Guaranteed. No one wants that. That's not a good business move, safety move, nothing. Has nothing to do with the fact that you think you're a man or a woman. Has everything to do with the fact of fitness for the job.
Well, it also is a disconnect from reality. People who are leftists who are like, let everybody in the military. First things first, you don't even, if you got your way, there would be no military. You know what I mean? Like, I always think like, what is the leftist's dream for, okay, motherfuckers, you don't want us to bomb people. What's your opinion? Go back in time and hug them more? You know what I mean? Like, that's really what a leftist wants. Is like, let's all just love it, no guns, no wars, nobody, has this dream fucking idealistic bullshit, right? So that's number one. And number two, it's a disconnect from reality because they don't even know, like you take it to step two. That's why I keep saying this is what one of the things I said to that chick. She was like, I don't appreciate you said bitches. And I said, oh, do you not listen to hip hop, or is that step two in your thoughts, bitch? Yeah. Step two in your thoughts. Because a lot of people, I have an opinion. I don't know why I have the opinion, but the opinion has me. And now anytime you say a buzzword, whether it be bitches or Trump or wall, or I could say, no more walls. Oh, okay. Are you going to live outside? Oh, no. I mean a metaphoric walls. Oh, okay. So you don't have any walls in your house? You don't have any privacy? No, it's fine for my personal privacy, but not in the country. You have to dig a little bit. And people are so fucking, they're not used to being challenged. And especially pretty females or females who have been sheltered their entire life. It's a disconnect from reality. They don't understand that, hey, listen to the motherfuckers on the ground. Listen to the cops. Listen to the cops on how to deal with it. Like when Trump did the press conference the other day with a bunch of
the Lex Luthor con.
There were a lot of bald motherfuckers in there, absolutely. But number one, number two, two of them were fucking Mexican. Two of them were Hispanic.
No federal agency besides Border Control is majority minority.
Interesting.
Except Border Control, and that's the one that leftists want to get rid of and cut back.
Touche. And yet those motherfuckers are up there saying, hey, we're on the ground. Listen to us. Walls fucking work. No, it's just a bunch of white men. Okay, they're not white men. It's just a bunch of men. It's just men is the problem. Okay, go to any like strict ass, like down ass female. Go to ask them, do you like girls? No, not really. You don't like you don't like each other. Stop. You like hanging out with us. We're more fun. We laugh at farts. We make better music. I'm sorry, girls, but I don't know. We just do. There are some amazing ass females, but it's like it's that bell curve thing. Remember the bell curve? Where like, okay, Camille Paglia talks about this. She said there are more composers because there are more serial killers who are men. You know what I mean? Like there are more genius men because there are more serial killer men. Like it's the same thing. Right. It's the same strange creativity, the same insanity, the same whatever. Not that there aren't crazy ass females, but you're crazy in your own way. You're not driven and obsessed to create music. Even the musicians that I know who are amazing writers, a lot of them don't give a fuck. A lot of them are treating music, even though they're trying to do it professionally, like it's a fucking hobby. A lot of these motherfuckers are just girls who stepped on stage, picked up a fucking ukulele for a couple of weeks. Their daddy said, oh, it's an amazing year. And they just wrote a song about a boy or about their feelings, mostly about fucking relationships. I don't understand how so many females can write only songs about relationships constantly. But whatever. And then they get up there and they sing the song. And everyone goes like...
Literal songs about relationships.
Literal songs about relationships. Yeah. And everyone goes, oh, it's amazing, because they want to fuck them. And they have lower standards for them. And then they just continue on. And then as soon as they run into like, this is really a difficult life, because a musician is a difficult fucking life, it's just like, you know what, I guess I'll be a painter, or I guess I'll be a dancer, or I guess I'll be with something else. You know, I didn't really... It's like a fucking hobby. For me, I can't stop... I'm not saying this in like this grand, like I'm amazing thing, but I can't stop making things. I can't. It makes me crazy. It makes me feel like my life is useless. Yeah. I feel like a disappointment to myself and to others. Yeah. I feel like I'm running around in circles. I feel like I waste unless I'm making things. Right. You know what I mean?
Well, there's no other option for you. No one's gonna wife you up and fly you to Saudi Arabia.
It's absolutely true. And so like, I don't know how I got off on that rant, but I'm just saying.
This is a war on women, man. I don't know if I can be down with this misogynistic podcast.
But you know it's the truth, girls. Come on. I know some of you cocksuckers, and I say that cocksuckers with love, but like, you picked up a ukulele, you went into an open mic. What was your experience? Was it positive or was it negative? Stop. Was everybody just kind of like whistling while you were sucking? Because the reality is that if a dude goes up to you've been in open mics, right?
Oh yeah.
If a dude is sucking, everyone's just like,
yeah, fucking embarrassing.
I'll go get a beer or something. If a girl's sucking, everyone's still just like,
I'll still look at her. Yeah.
Right, their hand on their heads on their hands, just like, wow, look at her. So you know, I don't know, but anyway, that same curve is the truth. You ever listen to Camille Paglia?
I actually read a couple articles because I remember you saying the name. She's pretty tight.
Yeah, she's pretty tight. She talks fucking fast and she's crazy, but I love her. She's fucking crazy.
Yeah, she was shutting down everyone's hopes that anyone could beat Trump, especially with what they have now. She was telling all of the left, because she's a feminist, right? She's
a first wave
Democrat.
Feminist.
Well, she's at least
she's a Democrat.
So she was basically telling them that they're screwed and just stop. You know.
Well, that was
stop. You're making yourselves look horrible.
To translate or to infer some of her message, she was the one who was saying, even though she's a Democrat, she didn't fucking vote for Hillary. She hates Hillary.
Yeah.
She's like, first things first. How could the first female president be someone who got their job because they were the wife of a male president?
A powerful man. Yeah.
Like, that's feminism to you? She got her Senate job because she was married to Bill Clinton. Like, okay, Bill did more of the grunt work. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she wasn't a lawyer and she wasn't a politician. She wasn't a politician, literally, until fucking 2000? Right? Until after Bill had already left? Like, stop.
Till the younger JFK's plane crashed and he mysteriously died and the seat opened up and she won.
Wait a second.
It's just one of those weird...
You gotta elaborate on this. Oh, yeah, no, she's a little creepy.
I don't get too deep into the whole Clinton body count thing, but that's just one of the ones that stands out to me is she's obviously losing because all she's ever done is lose in this race for New York Senate or whatever. And the young Kennedy dies in a crash right before the election, and she's right there to swoop up the seat.
Wow.
The only way she would have got in.
Was he he was a Democrat too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see. Wow. Okay.
I mean, there's no one but a Democrat going into New York.
Yeah. But even then, I'm telling you, even though it's Democrat, there's a difference.
It's raw, yeah. I've never been, but it's old and it's raw as fuck.
Right. And it's tougher there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's something about, like...
You can die in the weather there. Anywhere you can die in the weather. I am never lose sight of that in California, that there's places where you can die if you go outside for too long without a coat, you know? And I have no idea what that's like. And I love that.
Yeah, I hear you. There must be something to that. I can't remember who said it, but there must be something to the fact that our life is so great.
They were saying about...
It makes us more crazy.
Black people and white people. They're saying if you go back far enough and you think about the evolutionary dynamics, that there was white people living in these frozen-ass lands who, you know, could die if you take a wrong turn. Right. So they have to be, like, sharper and more on it and problem-solving and planning ahead. And if you're chilling in Africa, lounging in the sun... Even though you're fighting for your life, that that because the environment is there, it molded the two races in two different ways.
That actually makes a little sense.
And there's an actual theory to where people who have to deal with harsher, even in general,
Right.
if you deal with a harsher environment, you're more alert, you're sharper.
Right.
Jews to this day are more alert and sharper and shit.
They really
they've
are,
been,
dude.
They've been, running from things forever. So,
Right. You know what? That makes sense. Maybe and again, this is just thinking about it. This isn't
we're
fucking
spitballing out loud.
spitballing. But one of the things you just said was maybe when you're chilling in Africa, yeah, you're fighting for your life. So maybe that's why interpersonally, blacks on the whole, stereotypically, whatever you want to call it, are less afraid of confrontation than white people are. It seems that white people, maybe they're sharper on a thing basis, on like a struggle ahead type of like maybe environmentally, but like interpersonally, you know what I mean? Like if most black people are not afraid. You shortchanged me, you know what I mean? Like no white girl. Excuse me, I think you. You know what I mean? Like there's a different interpersonal relationship.
Gotcha. It's all got to come from somewhere,
Right.
And
Whether it's nurture or nature.
As long as you can at least acknowledge the fact that there is something there when you're talking about race and sex and politics.
Right.
There is and is there.
Right.
Which is hard enough to get people to agree to sometimes, like there is and is there.
Right.
Yes, everyone is everyone and we're all one.
Right.
But there is and is there.
Yeah.
As long as you can do that and as long as you can say it came from something and talk about it, you're miles ahead of,
And just because there's a difference doesn't mean there's a hierarchy of more value. You know what I mean? Like, I always
society does in the end.
Sure, but a value in different. Like, so as an example, I think blacks on the whole are better at at least a lot of different types of music. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, or at the I always say that, or at the barbecue, you're gonna on sight unseen.
Yeah.
You're going to trust the black dude or the white dude at the grill. Stop. You know what I mean? Like,
hands down.
There are some things interpersonally, I'm going to trust. Okay. In the boxing ring, I'm going to touch a fucking, please Russian, get in there, dude. I need a Russian to fuck somebody up in the MMA right now. You know what I mean? I'm not going to trust a fucking, I mean, there are a lot of.
There is and is there.
There is, right. And there is a difference. You know what I mean? And, I don't know. I don't see like that big a goddamn deal just to fucking. Is that California? I think it was California.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't know. Sorry, I gotta piss.
Handle it.
All right, I'm gonna use your urination room. All right. You ever have those chicks? Like you haven't fucked them yet, but you feel like their pussy's not going to be shaved.
Yeah.
It's a bother.
Really?
It's a bother to me.
You're straight, clean shaven?
Okay, let me rephrase that. I'm fine if there's hair on top, but like on the lips, get the fuck out of here. Like, what do you know what I mean? Like, what are you fucking 13? Hey, no one's pulled you aside and showed you how to fucking take care of yourself. Like,
and you can tell that degree. I'm not that tuned in.
I can't tell, but there's this chick I'm talking to. Like, I just feel like I don't want to deal even with the hassle of like seeing the mattedness. You know what I mean? She's not dirty. Let me rephrase that. I just feel like there's gonna be like an SOS pad down there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to fucking deal with it. I feel like I should head it off at the pass.
Spoiled. We've been spoiled.
What do you mean? You like hair?
Spoiled rotten. No, not too much. As long as it's not on the thighs and around the whole area.
Oh, yeah.
As long as the bikini's cleaned up, whatever she feels like expressing herself is good. I've had enough to where, I've gotten it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Right.
Whatever comes my way is all right now.
Yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'll take care of it. But, like, if it's on the lips, like, how am I even supposed to eat a pussy? When there's, like, I got to clear away this thicket, you know what I mean, just to get to the clit? What are you talking about?
Spoiled.
What are you talking about? You can't tell me you enjoy picking fucking hair out of your teeth.
I do not. I don't even put myself in that position.
I black guy, you don't eat pussy?
When it's hairy like that, nah. I know what you mean there, but that's just... It's fine if you don't want to, and when it's like that, I don't really feel like putting my mouth on it.
Right. I saw this earlier. Someone said, I think it's just, I feel like there's just companies that make the clickbait stuff almost like, even though they may be politically left, they know that it's going to make people who are like me or you, or people who are centrist, or maybe they're Democrat, but they like Jordan Peterson or whatever. Like, they know that that's going to rile us up to click and to read and to share.
The whole news industry now.
And so they'll share it, or they'll talk about it. And someone said, "Oh, someone started January." Did you see that?
Nobody started January. You lying fucks.
It's two hairy bitches. It's two hairy bitches who took pictures of themselves to say, women need to be proud of themselves and their hair. Here's the reality. I have to try. You know what I mean? Trying is important. Look at this amazing place you have. I mean, yes, it's for your comfort. It's for your quality of life.
It also makes women want to get naked.
Thank you.
As soon as they see it.
Thank you. That's what I'm...
Every time.
As soon as they come in, he's two TVs, my pussy's wet. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's something to, like, me having a podcast. There's something to all this life that, you know, you build it up and you make it something, and you're like, oh, like... this has a reaction that comes out of this. You know what I mean?
And it's impossible to figure out the chicken or the egg. People always do. People are trying to bash men, or even men that are trying to go their own way and be anti-women. It's like, I'm not going to play. I'm not going to be involved in this shit.
These fucking incels and
it's
shit.
It's like, you are involved by matter of birth. You're in this with me. You know?
Right,
like,
exactly.
You can tap out and lose if you'd like to. You know, like, that's fine. But don't act high and mighty. Like,
right.
People will think less of you. You will think less of yourself. That's why you're so fucking bitter.
Right.
Because you are not achieving. The same way you said you have to make things. You have to. Yeah, you fucking have to.
Right. But on the women's side of that, it's more socially acceptable. At least on social media, on the news level. Right. They can go, I'm not even going to shave my legs or I'm going to have a F.U.P.A that like goes from my tits down to my pussy. You know what a F.U.P.A is, right?
Oh, God, yeah.
Fat upper pussy area, right? Oh. So I'm going to have a F.U.P.A that goes from my titties down to I'm going to have this giant bolt, like not just the stomach, but like then the belt cuts it like almost in half. I read it in in Matilda.
Gross.
In Matilda, there was this, I still remember it to this day, and I don't even remember us reading Matilda, but there was this line where it's like she's, we're talking about her mom or something. It was like she's has the unfortunate body like a ham being held together with a string. You know what I mean? Like that's what it looks like. Where
I already had a vivid picture painted from what you said. Now it's really nasty.
Where like titties, it goes from titties to the belt, and then another almost looks like a giant like M. You know what I mean? Like the St. Louis Arches times 2, and it goes from like the titties down to the belt, and then from the belt down to the puss. Right? You ever been with a fat girl?
I've been with some larger women.
Right.
I have.
But like where you have to like
no.
Like the clit is like under, like it's almost like an unholy valley. You know what I mean? Like where like
there was probably one chick that was way over the limit, I will say.
See, I want to be able to say this. I want to be able to talk like this.
She was way over the limit. It was a strange situation.
Were you high at the time?
It was odd. No,
neither. See, yeah, the fat girls.
No, I did it completely straight of mind. You know?
And God bless him for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong.
But the fact is that yes, someone will still have sex with that F.U.P.A creature you described happily.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, there's always an option. There's always,
but not like a. But the only people who will wife that up, like the only people who will be in a relationship with that is a bitch. Come on, you know what I mean? Is a fucking
or somebody who fucked up and got him pregnant. That's 99% of married couples out there.
Oh shit, that's a good point. Okay, but hang on. But a dude would say, I guess, like, yeah, if he has to like take care of the.
Think of everyone you know. How many of them are together because the chick got pregnant?
Hang on, I'm trying to think of this.
It's a ridiculous number.
It is. Okay, all right. But like even then, like a dude, I feel like a dude could handle that. Like, not say bitch lose weight, but like there's a certain conversation, there's an air you can have about yourself if you're like, these are the things that I'm willing to budge on, and these are the things I'm not willing to budge on. You know what I mean? Like
in reference to what?
In reference to a relationship with a female. Like in reference to weight, especially weight, or like not like weight, hygiene. You know what I mean? If you're a loaf and you're a loser, like I'm not saying a girl has to make money, but like if you do nothing all day except lounge around and play video games, I'm not gonna do anything but fuck you like once or twice, and then I'm gonna move on. You know what I mean? Right? Because why would I want that in my life? You're just gonna be texting me all day.
Amazingly beautiful.
Okay, if she's amazingly beautiful, sure, but then there's a whole package of personality that you have to. If you fuck her more than twice,
don't give me that shit. More than twice.
Man.
Don't.
If you fuck her more than twice,
Don't get all high and mighty on me. If you have an Instagram hottie for Trump who lays on the couch all day and plays video games, you will miss work to lay on the couch. That's my point. Is you can do absolutely nothing.
I would miss work. Again, like maybe a total of like 10 times.
Oh,
but
now
I'm
we're
not
up
gonna
to 10.
Wife her up.
We were only at 2 a minute ago.
Okay, but relationship her up? Come on now.
Okay.
If I can pull a bitch like that, then I can pull a bitch elsewhere who has a fucking job.
This is very true.
Right.
But you're not really thinking. Anyways.
Maybe okay, but that's another thing. If I'm an insecure dude, let's just say if I'm an insecure dude and I'm afraid, I mean that's why guys. Sure, sometimes it's maybe a lot. I haven't thought about it as far as like getting somebody pregnant or whatever. But like
leading cause of marriage.
But like an East Bay motherfucker who can't get pussy will. Oh my God, this person's willing to have sex with me.
East Bay BTFO.
What's BTFO?
Blown the fuck out.
Yeah, a fucking BETA, fucking just beta ass East Bay. Have you noticed? Did I talk about this with you? This idea on the podcast?
Huh. This
idea that I don't think you're allowed to be a dude in the East Bay unless you're black. Like,
really?
Let me rephrase that.
Can't be mannish at all. You're saying
in Berkeley.
Oh yeah. We did
in
talk
Berkeley.
About this. Yeah,
you're only allowed to be a dude if you're black, and if you're white, you have to be like this. 4 sexual partners your whole life type.
Well, yeah. I mean, they'll hate you anywhere if you're a man acting mannish, but what they say they hate and who's getting pussy are very different things.
Sorry, just ate this whole giant thing. But
I would rather be hated, paid, and fucked than virtue signal for, and he's doing the right things any day of the week.
God damn it, that's so true.
Oh,
you know how many nice dudes are never getting laid,
and that was supposed to be a revolution. There's whole subreddits to nice guys, and it's guys who are supposedly nice. But really, they're just total scumbags like everybody else. And eventually, the facade gets pulled down, and you see that they're fucking insecure, crazy motherfuckers, needy.
Right.
And I saw the women's movements realizing this years ago, and I was like, oh, cool. It's going to be time. It's going to be a new era, right?
Where dawn of the alpha male.
Yeah, but no, they swept it under the rug, and now it's just one more thing to just fucking hate on men for on the side, just like a side hobby, like. Meh.
Isn't it fucking creepy too? By the way, how like I was watching The Office, like even it's gotten worse. Like Parks and Rec was even more bitchy. Like there's no dudes on Parks and Rec.
Ron Swanson.
Okay, Ron, yeah, but Ron. I'll rephrase that.
Ron Swanson's a great character.
Ron is a fucking dude, but he's not a player.
No, he was completely inept with women. That's true.
Right?
They're not going to go show it all.
That's true. Maybe there was an underbelly, but like he was allowed to be a dude. But like everybody, it just Ben White, or on The Office. I was watching. There was an episode where Michael is talking to Jim about Holly. And he's like, did you see Holly's butt?
Yeah.
And Jim said, I don't know if that's friends don't talk about friends' butts. Yes, we do. Are you fucking out of your fucking mind? Yeah. Are you out of your fucking mind, you fucking comedy writer? And it was a dude writer. I'm almost 100% sure on that episode.
I always gave Jim the benefit of the doubt because they put him in a professional atmosphere.
That's true. No, I don't feel like Jim is a beta male. But like, But like even that phrase, because that's either virtue signaling. I don't even feel like it's virtue signaling, because to me, or maybe it is, but it's subconscious virtue signaling. You know what I mean? Like the writer who wrote that actually believes that, or at least thinks he believes that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a willful dishonesty. I don't think it's not a willful. It's not a writer going, I like to talk about asses. I like to look, like I was talking about. Like if I'm at a Starbucks and I see a delicious bitch in front of me, where I'm looking around to the dude who I can go, yeah. And especially if it's a black dude, because you're like, nigga, right? You just feel it. You feel me? If I turn around and see Ben Wyatt, I'm not. There's nothing happening there. No. I can't appreciate openly. I'm not saying harass the girl, but I'm saying just appreciate.
Yeah.
Right.
There's an is there.
There's an is there, and she fucking knows it, and she appreciates it. Don't rape me. Don't scare me. But like, look at me. That's okay. You know what I mean? I don't do it for myself.
Right.
Idiots. But like, I feel like that writer.
And if you're gonna look. Fully look around, have a moment with another random man. Don't fucking creepily look, or look from the side, or sit way off in the corner and stare for a long time. Like,
right. Don't masturbate at the Starbucks.
Do it,
Right. And but I feel like that writer willfully, or is not willfully saying to himself, I like looking at an ass and I like appreciating it with another dude, but I'm going to say that that's not appropriate just for the paper.
Right.
You know what I mean? I feel like that guy has had some woman in his life said, like that chick, tried with me the other day, and I don't really appreciate that. And they just said, oh my God, they're going to take away the pussy. And so they changed slowly into being this, oh, bitch is inappropriate. Don't use that word. Oh, you shouldn't use certain word. Oh, and they just over time.
I heard the only toxic in masculinity is the almost complete lack of it now, or the lack of acceptance of it now.
Yeah.
Because that's when I see the most toxic shit.
Yes, that's what exactly.
Right.
A real ass alpha dude is not gonna fucking rape you.
No.
A real ass alpha dude is not gonna put drugs in your drink.
He may bother you, like
yeah.
He may bother you.
He may say, "Hey, mama, come on, let's
grab
fucking
your arm,
talk. Come on, let's talk."
He may put his hand on your waist too far, and if it's a dude that you're feeling, you won't mind, and if you're not, you will mind.
And you'll show it to him, and a real ass alpha dude who's not insecure about it. If you tell him no. Or I have a boyfriend and I mean it, instead of, because sometimes you say I have a boyfriend and it's like,
chick showed me a ring one time, still got it. Because she wasn't married though. She wasn't married though. For
real,
dude,
it was a faker.
Yeah,
you fucking. Anyway, but like you see what I'm saying? Like a real ass dude respect isn't even the right word. He would just understand. This is a dead end.
And it's motives and it's mindset. Someone who's completely accepting and cool with them as a man, themselves as a man, is just on a different wavelength.
Right.
Than some dude who's being weird and trying to sneakily grab your waist or sneak a touch in a creepy way. Like,
right.
And that's what's being created so much of, because it's not okay to be a man.
Right.
But it is okay to be a complete soy boy.
Right.
As far as the messaging goes.
As far as at the social level, exactly like we were talking about before. And one of the things I've talked about is like the difference between Berkeley, if Berkeley were a dude and if New York was a dude. Okay, If New York was a dude, he'd say, "Hey mama, come on, let's talk. No, I know you got a man, but he's in Brooklyn. Come on, let's talk, whatever, right? He's going to be up front. He might be a little, he might feel sleazy. He might feel like he's bothering you, but he's up front.
Like the catcall video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If Berkeley were a dude,
oof,
he would be wearing a shirt, like, and gently tousled hair that shows he doesn't care, smoking a clove cigarette, sitting back, waiting, like talking about something he believes in to make you intrigued, and you lean in, this guy's different, and so because this guy's different, I'm gonna fuck him. And then it turns out you do fuck him, and it turns out he doesn't fucking call you back, and he does the same shit that the guy who's saying, "Hey mama, what's up?" would do to you, but he's doing it sneaky, he's doing it shitty, he's doing it false. He's a liar. Berkeley is a liar.
And I think you're giving him too much. I think you're giving your made-up man too much credit, even there.
What do you mean?
That just sounds like a snaky dude. I know lots of snaky men, you know?
Okay. So you're saying he wouldn't even fuck?
It wouldn't even, or he might fuck, but it would be just the most roundabout way, and he would call back a whole lot, you know, and he would call back too much.
And let's be fucking real. You're not, like, females are not attracted. They even may wife up a guy who's Berkeley, meaning who's like, oh, okay, maybe not sneaky, but maybe the Berkeley is, you're right. Let's go with the premise of Berkeley is like a bitch-ass dude. Parroting
women's beliefs and actions and thoughts.
Yep.
And then using that as, here, I believe the same thing.
Right.
Now we can fuck. Right. I'm super nice. I'm not a threat.
Right.
I'm not overtly sexual.
Right. So here's the other reality. As far as keeping it in a man, if New York was a man and if Berkeley was a man, you're not attracted to Berkeley. Like almost all. And there are some females, apparently, who like dominating men. I've met like on a real ass basis. Not that you have done it, girls,
right,
but enjoy it in your bones. Need to dominate men. I've met like one, but even then, like I've met women who have been dominant with men and not with me, bitch.
And been not happy about it.
Not fucking yes. Thank you. Not happy about it too. But the guy that they were with, that they were interested in, they suddenly get into the bedroom and it turns out he wants this thing and they want to make him happy. And so, sure, I'll put on these boots. Sure, I'll squeeze your nuts really hard. Sure, I'll slap you in the face. Sure, I'll whatever, right? I'll spank you, right? And so they'll do that stuff. And if it's a legit ass fetish, rock and fucking roll. You can't change that. Like, I'm not saying that there's, you know, that we should necessarily shame bottom men. Although to me, whatever. I just don't. It's just
shame.
It's just not in my bones. I just whatever. But like on an animal level, girls, almost all girls don't fucking want a dude who they're right out the box. They just want to spank him. No. And like you were saying, there's a wavelength that a real ass dude kind of goes on where like, hey, bitch, I have the keys. I don't need you to do a fucking thing. I got you. Be yourself. Yeah. You don't, not that you can just lie there, but like you're a good girl. Do the good girl thing. Fucking, you know, whatever. Lick my balls. Like, let's, you know, whatever. But like, you know, I'm gonna give you direction. You feel me? Know where I'm going. You know, I'm gonna lead this like a dance. I'm gonna lead this, and then we're both gonna be real fucking happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like a dude who's just like, oh, it's great. She's like, stop, man. I just feel like a girl's not attracted to that shit. Not the ones I've talked to.
They're not.
Unless they're a fucking. But for some reason, because of comedy writers, that's just a normal thing. Where like that maybe not even sexually, but like that bitch dude saying inappropriate and meaning it. Like, you know, that a guy like even you know, Jim from The Office, who wasn't necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily call him a beta male, or even Ron. Ron had 3, maybe 5 sexual interests that were shown to us the whole 7 seasons.
Yeah,
that's insane. You know what I mean? Like, that's not shutting it up. I'm not saying every dude on every show needs to be just getting puss everywhere, but like be realistic. You know what I mean?
It's not okay to even show it.
Right.
All it's going to take is a push for complete acceptance for men to be men again, and it's not anywhere in the near future.
Right. Someone was saying, I was listening to Jim Insanity. He was like, it's not going the other way. It's not going to swing back.
It's not in the Democratic Party. That's for damn sure.
But you know what? Actually, that's a good point.
The Democratic Party is officially the party of women.
Yeah.
Every policy, every emotional outburst, every factless, baseless, logicless tactic they take, it's completely feminized.
Jim Acosta is a great example. Jim Acosta is a great fucking example. So if you and I are in the 7-Eleven and the 7-Eleven guy says you have to stand in line, but you just get in front of the line and start barking things at him, you're a rude piece of shit.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't follow the guidelines of the agreed upon guidelines that we're all in this room agreeing there's a line, you pay the money, you be nice. Right? If you don't follow those guidelines, then you're an asshole. But apparently, because Jim Acosta's a Democrat or a liberal, he's not an asshole. He's standing up for our rights. Yeah. Like, we're all agreeing to these certain rules of engagement, right? Now, Trump, you may view Trump as breaking the rules of engagement. No, the rules of engagement are not you need to act like a president or your version of a president all the time. The rules of engagement are I'll call on you, you ask your question, I'll answer it. Yeah. It may not be an answer you enjoy. Right. It may be an answer you love, but I'm going to answer your question. Then I'm going to call on somebody else.
And you do it with some kind of decorum.
Yes. You don't just go, excuse me, ma'am, and you just start yelling, and then it's like, oh, it's an attack on the press. No, you're being a cunt, Jim. Yeah. You can't be a cunt. Like, it's not an attack on the press. We're all agreeing to stand in line, wait to, grab your thing, stand in line, pay the money, don't be an asshole. Like, that's what this is. This is all a big social contract. Yeah. And if you're breaking the social contract, don't be expected to, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going to grab a girl's ass without asking her at the club, not hip. Hip is different. Touching her arm, that's different. If you're going to grab a girl's fucking ass straight up in the club, don't be expected to just keep living in the club. You know what I mean? People are going to remove you bodily from the club. You know what I mean? Same thing fucking goes. If Jim Acosta's going, no, I'm not going to turn up my time because everyone needs to hear what I have to say and I'm a fucking hero? Fuck you. You're being a cunt. You're not a hero.
My favorite is the caravan is thousands of miles away. They're not even going to be here by Christmas. We don't need the boaters on the Christmas. They're not going to be jumping the wall. They're peaceful people. And then there's a montage where it just cuts to the caravan arriving by the time Christmas is here. Right. I mean, Thanksgiving. By the time Thanksgiving's here, and they're all jumping the wall and throwing rocks at people.
Yeah, and they were doing it. They were doing it at the Mexico border too.
He fucking sat there and said no to the president. They're too far away. They will not be hopping the walls. Like he was stating facts that he knew for sure, talking about the future. Mm-hmm. That's wrong, even if they didn't do that. And the fact that they did the exact thing that he said they're not going to do. There's no coming back from that. I think that's why we haven't heard from him since, is because he got so completely blown out right there. Right. He had a nice little, some steam going. People were getting behind him, blah, blah, blah. But when you do that, and then you chop the arm of a White House aide that's trying to get the microphone from you, right. And then everything you said in complete, against the president happens exactly like you said it wouldn't, I haven't heard a peep from him since.
Right. I always talk about this, but like if the principle is not more important than the personality, you don't care about the principle, right? So if the principle of don't be a cunt in this, in this all agreed upon space that we're in, if that's not more important than the personalities of the people there or who's on your side or who's against you,
you have no principles.
Then you don't have a principle.
What about the principles of it's been absolutely delicious to watch people on the left falling over themselves to say how we need to stay in Syria and Afghanistan. I've been shouting with these people for a decade plus. Get the fuck out of the Middle East. Right. Who cares? We don't need to be over there. We're killing kids. We're bombing. Leave the Middle East. We need to stop these wars. Amazingly silent for 8 years under Obama. Nobody said jack shit. We were at war with 2 countries when Obama came into office. We were bombing 8 by the time he left. He was at war every day of his presidency. He's the first president to ever be at war every day of his presidency. He was killing people daily.
Yeah, drone strikes.
But still,
much more drone strikes.
Still, you talk to people back then, should we be in the Middle East? Fuck no. Please leave the Middle East, Trump just ended 2 wars. We're leaving Afghanistan, we're leaving Syria. And I've got to watch people falling over themselves saying of how it's a bad move. 0 principles. It's all about the personality.
Right.
The thing that everyone's been yelling for since the day we went is now a bad move and risky and
it's right.
And ISIS is going to come back now. We need to stay over there and help them and we need to build nations over. It's just,
and they did the same thing with North Korea.
It's insane.
They did the same thing with North Korea. No. You need to be. Something needs to happen in North Korea. These people are these. Oh, there's so many documentaries coming out. Years and years and years of watch these people being starved to death. Watch them have to go into a crying room and cry. Otherwise, you are penalized because of the death of Kim Jong-il. Like, Okay, we need to help these people. Suddenly, this motherfucker tries to help them, and they're like, no, you shouldn't do it on. I'm not saying he didn't have a little. There might have been, might have been
Don't
use
do it.
of use. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't even give them that. There's still people to this day. All right, maybe those tweets worked. Maybe those crazy batshit tweets, maybe they worked.
Shit.
But that was last time. Don't do it again. It's not going to work anymore.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
This
that's
has been working from day one. It's working.
Yeah,
North
all
and
right.
South Korea just built a fucking railroad. They connected them between the
they did
countries.
too now?
And they had a ceremony with white gloves, hammering in the last stakes, connecting.
Right.
It was beautiful.
Interesting.
Didn't see that anywhere.
No.
Besides some YouTube clips
Right.
and some fucking Asian media with no
Interesting.
English. Huge developments. Even if he never denuclearizes.
Right.
Say the two countries get along and they trade and that is fucking
That's huge.
huge.
Right.
And it's
Why
because
that's fucking
it's because
crazy.
my red button is bigger than your red button tweet. It's because motherfucking Iran, all caps, do not ever threaten the United States or I will rain down shit like you've never witnessed, all caps.
Yeah.
That's why this is
Right.
happening.
Right.
And if you think it's crazy, it is. And if you think it's crazy that the president has memes on Twitter, it fucking is. And I don't see how people can't enjoy this.
Touche.
The
All
job
right,
numbers
that's-
just came
that's
out.
legit.
The best economists
right.
in the world.
Yeah.
First of all, said 3% GDP is impossible, never happened, ever. We did it. No problem. Nobody said shit about that. The job numbers come out. Looking at the way the economy's been, people said, all right, 170 max. 340, I think,
What do you mean?
came
What
out.
do you mean? 170
Double.
what?
177,000 jobs created.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Top. No way more than that.
Okay.
300 and something jobs created just came out. Boom. Stock market, fourth best day ever on Friday. Fourth best day ever.
Ever.
After, oh my God, the fucking market's crashing, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Fourth best day ever once the job numbers come out. And the best thing that I can glean from it is there's two different economic systems in America. There's two different things going on. Ever since global trade and globalism came into play, the banks don't need Americans anymore. How have I heard it said? Main Street versus Wall Street banking.
Right.
The banks don't need to make me happy, you happy, the little people happy. They don't fucking care if the American economy tanks.
Right.
Because
this isn't what did we watch the other day? Fucking It's a Wonderful Life. You know what I mean? This is not, the savings and loan is like going out of business and now there's a personal relationship. No,
right.
it's not like
There's
that
no
anymore.
fucking need.
Right.
America could burn in flames and these guys will be richer than me and you will ever be times a million, you know? But there is a section of banks that are the little guys. And everybody around here is doing great. I don't know anybody that's looking for a job. I don't know anybody that isn't doing good. Everyone's 401ks are double, tripling. Yeah, some farmers got hurt with some tariffs. We just sold rice to China for the first time ever.
Wait, what?
The
Hang
United
on.
States just
What?
sold rice to China
Interesting. Okay.
for
I
the
didn't know
first
that.
time ever.
Where did we grow it? What fucking patties do we got?
Yeah, well,
What, fucking Iowa?
We got to
Jesus.
make them now. All we
yeah.
make is fucking fructose corn syrup and trash.
Dude, it's
Our
fucking
farmers are
bad.
decimated. Sure, some farmers are taking some hits right now,
Right.
and we're bailing them out with some federal funds. Call it fucking. People try and say, "Oh, it's socialism. Look at your shitty president hurting his own people." It's called being an adult.
Right.
We're changing the entire system. There's going to be some disruption,
Right.
but it's all for the good.
So you're saying that there are there are farmers that are taking a hit. What is the hit that they're taking?
Oh, sure, because the tariffs on everybody's products, things aren't moving in and out like they were.
Okay.
And the same things aren't moving out in and out like they were because now it costs China so much more to get it from us, right? So,
But it's amazing the things, not just rice, but now we have fucking oil. Like we have wasn't it the thing that I just fucking read? God damn it. It was something that we are more independent oil wise than we ever have been.
Yeah, no.
Or
I don't know about
that
ever,
we have
but
been
definitely in the past
20
60
years?
years. No,
Okay, 60
longer than
years.
that. We're an exporter. We're a net energy exporter.
That's fucking crazy.
And, 4 or 5 articles come out, Bloomberg, Wall Street Journal,
Right.
establishment, you know?
Right.
And I posted a nice little fucking
Oh, I saw that.
meme on Facebook, and immediately somebody comes back with all these things of how, it's just numbers and we're not really ahead and all these technicalities. And sure enough, he pulls up an article that was written as a direct response. It sounded like the bitchiest little faggot response ever. In response to these massive amounts of articles that all say this is happening, somebody writes one where it says, well, if you look at it this way and the actual numbers and we're really not, and basically Orange Man is still bad. You know?
Right.
Just completely looking over the whole fact that we're dominating energy for the first time. Like,
well, the thing is that there's a righteousness. That not only is there a click currency, but there's also a spiritual. There's a fucking whatever you want to call it. There's a currency in being the guy who says actually, you know what I mean? Like to go back to The Office. Remember that when Oscar apparently was the guy who was always like actually, what it really is that there's a spiritual currency in that. There's a currency to go like, I'm the guy who everyone is going to share my article now because I'm the self-righteous cunt. There's a currency in being a self-righteous cunt.
And against Trump, it's times 100.
Right.
The guy just legalized hemp.
Did he really?
You can legally grow and manufacture hemp. Shit is going to be jumping right now.
Right.
Paper products, clothing products, everything that people have been talking about.
Why that's a huge staple on the left. Why haven't you motherfuckers been sharing that?
It's gigantic. Hemp is now legal in the United States to produce and manufacture hemp products.
Interesting.
One step closer to weed becoming legalized.
Oh, but fucking some bitch is drinking a beer on Facebook Live, and that's better?
Who out here will vote for Trump if he legalizes? Whatever you do to get in touch with Pete, let him know.
Conservativepodcast@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. If Trump were to legalize weed, would he have your vote? Yes or no? I want to do a somewhat poll to your people out here.
Right.
I could see people stop smoking weed if he legalizes weed. But I really can't, though. That's huge.
Right.
But we're one step closer. Hemp is already a huge deal.
Right. I don't understand. Yeah. I mean, there's got to be... Is it on a weird... Oh, careful of the cord. When you pull the cord like that, it makes this weird noise.
Oh, great.
So it's all good. Just
unprofessional.
It's all right. That's why they have them on stands all the time. But there's got to be something. What do we fucking? Because my interest, one of the things that makes this podcast different is the fact that you and I have the spiritual practices that we do, and so there is the angle on a real human basis that Tucker or some of these other great fucking important jobs they don't have. We have a certain and Tucker would be. I mean, maybe you're obviously more informed about things than I am, but like I don't have to. I'm not. It's like the Super Friends. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. You know, like we were talking about earlier. Like I would reach out to Jordan if I needed somebody to be on the battle lines who's going to be all like, you know a lot about socialism and be very like forward, Canadian and thinkery and blah blah blah. I wouldn't reach out to Jordan if I needed somebody to be funny. You know what I mean? I wouldn't reach out to fucking Shapiro, right? But if I needed a lawyer, a little bullet, tiny little Jewish bullet to get in, like a little Jewish attack dog, I would get Shapiro. So I think that there's a spiritual angle that I have because I have the practices that I do. Now, where does that benefit me? One of the ideas is the principle over the personality. But the other thing is...
Look how different Jordan and Ben are. And you just rattle them off like they're both on your team. And they should be,
Absolutely. Exactly. Just because one and remember there was something that Jordan disagreed with regarding the Kavanaugh thing, and everyone was like, just completely write him off. Like cocksucker, people are allowed to disagree about things. Like calm down. But anyway,
he's a fucking Canadian.
Exactly.
What matters anyway?
That's true. But like. The other thing is that when it comes to something you need something.
Just looking for the cat.
Oh, okay. But on I feel like there is a lot of fight to be had in the voting booth. There's a lot of fight to be had on social media, although I think that part of the fight for the social media is just disconnecting altogether because they've already rounded that out. Yeah. I've already felt like I want to delete my Facebook. I'll keep Instagram for a little while. We'll see what they do. But I'm really feeling like Facebook is not. I mean, it's not helping me promote all that much. Like, I'm gonna try to put a couple more ads on, but if they keep blocking me with like, "No, you need to do these other things because you're conservative," I'm just gonna say fuck off. Yeah. I'm not gonna deal with it. So you're gonna have to find me in other ways: Discord, Patreon. I might disconnect from Patreon actually because of all those other things that they were doing.
Sam Harris did it. Good for him.
Good for him. I feel like besides the fight on social media, the fight on voting, the fight in our money and who we pay money to and all our stuff, right?
So much fighting.
Well, part of the fight is on a personal fucking basis.
Yeah. And
most people on a personal level, even the only people who have had bad reactions to this podcast or bad reactions to are really only people who, number one, haven't listened,
yeah.
and number two, haven't brought it up to me in person.
People who aren't discussing and aren't diving into the material.
Right. They're not diving into the material. They're not. They're afraid to see things that they don't agree with. Mm-hmm. They are uninformed, and they are seeing buzzwords. They're seeing me saying conservative, or they're seeing me post a meme that they disagree with, and so they're just saying all wholesale, "Fuck this guy. I don't even want to hear it," even though you know me on a personal basis, right?
Yeah.
But the people on an individual basis, even the people who I've disagreed with politically or disagree with me on my stance on bitches or my stance on this or that, they're all fucking like reasonable. Like there's a lot of reasonable motherfuckers who listen to this podcast who I was like, really? You listen? That's weird. You know what I mean? Because you're a fucking left. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're fucking super left. You know what I mean?
Everybody creates these boogeymen. You know? I mean, we created a fake Berkeley man. You know, we wasted 10 minutes.
I like that 10 minutes. Fuck that.
It's great. It's fucking great. You know, but when you start battling Berkeley man only, it's not doing anybody any good. And when you start battling neo-Nazi Feliciano, that's that person doesn't exist.
Right. It's some weird shit. I feel like I don't know, man. What do we fucking? How do we reach more people? Like, because I don't think. I mean, maybe you're not in the business of that. I mean, obviously you have. Yeah, I think so.
I am. I told you. Well,
obviously you have Reddit. The people you have in my life. Reddit. What is it? R Trump. What is it again?
The Donald.
The Donald.
Or the Donald.
R the Donald.
The _Donald. I get a lot of information there, and it's one of the only hubs for pro-Trump stuff.
Right.
Besides all those boomer-ass pages, you know, full of fake-ass news.
Well, there's got to be at some point, there's got to be a crackdown on that, too. I mean, there's a crackdown on Facebook, there's a crackdown on Instagram, there's a crackdown on Patreon, there's a crackdown on Twitter.
Oh, it's completely. Just before the midterms, they wiped out at least 100 conservative Facebook groups. Big groups.
Right.
Closed them down, shut them down.
So
the Antifa group that terrorized Tucker, their page stayed up on Twitter for weeks before they finally got pulled.
I was talking to that about Jerry, the former Proud Boy, about how literally right before he came on, there was
they got purged.
So they had gotten purged. A bunch of Proud Boys
groups,
have gotten their
affiliated
whole
people.
Groups, affiliated people, friends of friends, whatever. Yeah. And yet there was a group of people who shared Gavin McGinnis's personal cell phone number on Facebook and said, "Here's Gavin's cell phone number. Have fun." And yet that guy was not taken down off of Facebook. Yeah. So that motherfucker had real tactile basis on a real fucking tangible level, was abusive, harassment, piece of shit. Mm-hmm. And yet these people who have just a vague affiliation, quote unquote, with a fucking gang, quote unquote, they're you don't even have any evidence they did anything wrong.
No, and there was a whole fake news thing about how the FBI classified them as a terrorist organization. They had to come out and say that is not what happened. They are not. They are not. They are absolutely not under an FBI list as a hate group or anything.
Right.
But that got passed around so much right before that purge. Probably for that purge.
Probably.
That's a hell of a coincidence.
Yeah, and right before the midterms too.
Oh, yeah.
And yet, let's talk about the midterms, because I think before you came on was before the midterms, right?
Oh, yeah. This is Kavanaugh just got in.
Right. So the midterms actually, on a real ass basis, had more people. He kept more seats than other in the Senate than
and
people
the House.
have.
You're right. Yeah, he lost less in the House,
Right.
but gained seats in the Senate. And whatever, you could look at it whatever way you want. Oh, you got trumped in the fucking House. You lost a bunch of seats in the House.
Yeah, but less than other motherfuckers have.
Yeah, less than other people do. That
Right.
happens every time. What doesn't
Right.
happen is gaining seats in the Senate. It was a normal ass midterms. I mean, there was just extra put on it.
Why do you feel like the Democrats want the power so much? Is it just a power thing? Is it just a power thing, or is it also a morale? Like, does a Nancy Pelosi, as an example, is she just doing it for power? Is she just doing it for money, or does she really believe that she's doing the Lord's work?
I don't know what to think about these actual individual politicians besides their individual actions. Like
True.
Jeff Flake just fucking things up for the Republicans just on purpose. Like, so glad he's gone. Or Nancy Pelosi getting up there and what did they say? They just had a meeting on the wall, and Kirsten Nielsen, I think she's the head of the Border Patrol or Homeland Security.
Okay.
Sexist Trump appoints all these women to these high cabinet positions, but
Right.
she tried to give a presentation to all the Democrats. They walked out on her. Just
Really?
completely got up and left. So Trump issued a press release with everything that was in her presentation to everyone and said, well, everyone read this, but
Is that what that was? That's what the
no,
Lex Luthor?
That day, I think, was just to steal spotlight from Pelosi, because that was her day becoming speaker, and she was getting
Right.
a lot of press.
He did say congrats to her, and we'll be
did.
able to do some nice things.
Yeah. And then he had 8 guys come up and say, walls work. In case you forget natural laws of
Right.
order, walls are effective.
Yeah, fuck
Thank you
yeah.
for your time today.
It's so fucking crazy, man.
But they had another meeting about the wall because they're in negotiations or whatever.
Right.
And Kirsten Nielsen, that's a tough one. Kirsten Nielsen was giving her facts again, and Pelosi straight up says, I reject your facts. Those are not my facts. These are facts about illegal immigration in America, However many terrorists come over, how many hundreds of thousands of people come over. She just shut her down and said, those are not my facts. I don't want to hear your facts.
Right.
What is
feel
that
like
accomplishing?
Pelosi doesn't know any real ass Mexicans. Like, Mexicans can be just as shitty as us. Like, just because they have brown skin doesn't mean that that their actions on a basis from the womb are just more clear and more beautiful, and their intentions are more pure automatically just because they have brown skin. That's racist.
Very racist, yeah.
Right. I know, motherfucker. Like, to say that that's not the case, and that's the other thing too. I feel it's a little racist, maybe, but I keep screenshotting all these. Anytime I see, there was one a few months ago where these two fat black women, drowned this baby, and I screenshotted it because I'm like, Black Lives Matter. I'm just like, oh look. They had a bad childhood. It's because of the system. It's because of the white patriarchy that they drowned a baby. Right. Fuck you. They're responsible for their actions too. It doesn't matter what happens before the action. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter that if I get hit as a kid and I hit my kid, you can't just go, well, he had a bad childhood. Don't hit kids. You know what I mean? Or that's a whole nother. But you know what I'm saying? If there are more, literally, the prison systems are made up, or no, what was it? God damn it, I'm going to get the goddamn statistic wrong. But blacks are responsible for, I think it's 50% of the murder, and yet they're 14% of the population, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you're going to tell me that all of that 50% of murders that's made up of blacks, you're going to say that all of those are because there's a racist cop? No.
You can't.
No, you can't. Not just that. Okay, let's say it's 10%. Let's say 10% of that is because of a racist cop and the poor black guy didn't do nothing, right?
Right.
Which is bullshit, and you know it. But let's say that's 10%. That's now 40%
right.
of murders, and yet they're only 14% of the population of America?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Be fucking real.
There is and is there.
There is a fucking is there. And not just that. Okay, it's a black person. That poor black guy was chased down by a racist cop. That almost all of that 50% of black murder is of black people. It's black people killing other motherfucking black people.
Yeah.
Apparently, the lives that you give a fuck about.
Right.
There are what? Maybe by cops, because we can't stop hearing about it all the fucking time. We hear over and over stories. Let's just say it's 20. Let's just say it's let's just say it's 40. Let's say it's 40 black people, black men that are innocent of anything, and they are gunned down by a cop. Let's say fuck it, white cop. Let's say it's 40 a year. You and I both know that that's a high ass motherfucking number.
Say
That's
it's 400.
Say it's 400.
Say it's 4,000.
The fucking thousands upon thousands upon thousands of black men murdering other black men, and you don't give a fuck about it.
No one talks
You don't
about
give
it
a
anymore.
fuck about it. Black Lives Matter does not give a fuck
It used to
about
be an
black
issue.
lives.
Public Enemy used to talk about it. It was a real issue. And now no one mentions it.
Right.
Chicago is another weekend in Chicago. Actually, the murder rates in Chicago have been going down over the past 2 years.
Really?
It's still
It's
a gross number. I do not want to minimize it, but shit's been dropping down.
Right. But I think part of what supports that fucking murder rate is the society, in my opinion, is the culture of white people turning their eyes to it because they don't even want to look at a black person doing something wrong because that might make them racist, right? They might, and not just on a social level. I feel like these white people who are probably racial, right? Because racial exists. I'm racial. I'm fucking racist in some ways. Absolutely.
Racial.
We're all little racial, right? Like Patrice used to say.
Racist-ish.
Racist.
There's your new podcast name right there.
Absolutely. But like, what the fuck? God damn it! What was this? This is such a good line. Racist-ish. That should absolutely be the name of the podcast. But like, what was I saying?
You're saying people ignoring black on black crime.
Oh yeah. Not just on a social level, but I feel like these white people who are racial, if they do step over the line of saying that black people that there's a problem in the black community,
right,
they're afraid of their own racistness. You know what I mean? Racism.
Well, you can't even mention. Then you're acknowledging that there is and is there.
Right.
Then you're on your way to actually dealing with it, which is hard. It's hard work.
Yeah,
Who wants to do that?
It's much easier to make sure that the white people are the culprit. It's much easier to say, we're the problem. We made you this way. We're the bad people. Because you don't ever have to do anything about it.
Plus, you get virtual signal points, so...
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Then you get little social points.
You get voted in again, right?
But look at
you
this.
Get social points.
I missed all the guns marches. I've been working a lot, but I must have missed the take everyone's guns. We need to stop the guns, take the guns, because an immigrant policeman from India was just murdered by, what was he? Oh, yeah, an illegal immigrant shot him on Christmas after he took a photo with his whole family and his little girl. He goes out on patrol, gets shot and killed by an illegal immigrant in California. And I see congresswomen and congressmen all week talking about the burden of illegal immigrants and how rough they have it. Not one fucking tweet do I see from Kamala Harris about the police officer that got shot by an illegal immigrant. All week she's tweeting about how rough illegal immigrants have it. I haven't seen one where's the guns marches. I haven't seen one where did he get the gun from march. I haven't seen anything about guns.
David Hogg hasn't said anything.
David Hogg haven't heard a peep from Hogg. Except he just got into Harvard. The kid is a moron. They let him into Harvard. Somebody lost a seat at Harvard so they could put David Hogg in. They posted his scores. I don't know anything about this SAT, but he's not Harvard material.
Really?
And they let him in. Can you imagine the essay that he wrote? Oh, that would make me throw up. I bet you it's worse than the person that just wrote Black Lives Matter on like 10 pages of paper, and that was their essay, and they got
That was their fucking... What the fuck? Can you repeat that to me?
Yeah, look that one up.
Are you fucking serious?
Look that one up.
I'm gonna fucking murder somebody.
But I didn't see any guns marches. And last night, 3 people shot and killed down in L.A. I didn't hear about a crazy mass shooter and take the guns and nothing. I barely heard about the story at all because it's gang violence. There was a big fight at the bowling alley. Somebody came back. 3 people shot and killed.
Oh, my God.
I haven't heard anything from the anti-gun people in California. Not a peep.
Watch this. Okay, so this is USA Today. This is from April of 2017. It says, this teen wrote hashtag Black Lives Matter over and over on his Stanford application and got in.
Stanford.
Zaid Ahmed has made waves on social media, sharing screenshots of his Stanford application and acceptance letter. A photo of his application shows the hashtag Black Lives Matter hashtag repeated over and over in response to the question, what matters to you and why? He confirmed to USA Today College that yes, he did indeed submit hashtag 100 times in his Stanford University application. Ahmed is known to be active within the Black Lives Matter as a vocal ally.
Not even black.
No, let me look up Zaid Ahmed. Zaid the activist. Ooh, he did a TED talk. A little faggot. Look at this little fucking queer too. Look at him. Look at him.
Oh,
look at
yeah.
He hasn't lifted a weight his entire fucking life. Zaid Ahmed.
He's a Stanford man.
What a little queer.
Stanford man.
What a little douche.
He's a Stanford man. Yeah, not even black. An ally using the movement to get points and get accepted into Stanford.
Wow.
And you know what? If a black person would have written the same thing, no way they would have got in.
This is fucking crazy.
You got that. You got the fucking Women's March. 2 things with the Women's March just happened. One chapter completely disbanded because of Linda Sarsour and all the anti-Jew shit that she gets into because she's Palestinian freedom fighter.
Hates the Jews.
Hates them.
That motherfucker hates the Jews.
One whole chapter completely got out of the Women's March. They're just out of the movement because she's at the helm, among other people, for that. Another...
Well, there was also another... There was a black chick who loves... What's-his-face? Also hates Jews. Loves Farrakhan.
Farrakhan, yeah.
Yeah. And Farrakhan hates Jews.
Yeah, he has forever.
But he's a hero. Fucking... Do you see what I'm saying? But I feel like most of the people listening to this, even though... Well, first things first, there were a couple of people who I know because... you're a MAGA guy. They're already not going to listen. Fuck you. I don't care. Number 2... if you've gotten this far, you understand, number 1, where we're coming from. And number 2, you agree. As far as that goes, come on. You can't go to the Women's March and know that at the very top of the Women's March are a bunch of people who hate fucking Jews and yet still go and be happy about it. You can't do that.
And full-blown Muslim activists who completely believe in the subjugation of women.
Right. Yeah, hijab is not always It's not a what is it? A freedom. It's not an act of freedom to put on your hijab. I was talking about this statistic the other day. I think it was 90% of Egyptian women in, what was it, 2010? Yeah, over 90% of, I know it was a long time ago, but this is the statistic I remember. In 2010, over 90% of women in Egypt had female genital mutilation.
How much?
Over 90%. Had some form of female genital mutilation.
Whoa.
Taking clits off with rocks, kids. That's what we're talking about. Or glass, or a doctor. Either way, there's labia being cut off. There's clits being cut off. Shit's happening to women's vaginas against their will. Sometimes up to the age of 9 or 11. And then here's an even better statistic: over 50% of women in Egypt thought it should continue.
Those are my favorite ones. The whole Pew study range they did with Muslims in the UK is
my God.
It's the best information ever.
Them niggas hate Jews.
Jews should be killed for leaving the religion.
Yes.
Jihad bombings are most of the time supported or justified. Just outrageous numbers. Gay people,
disease. That's in England.
Yeah.
That's not in Afghanistan. That's in England.
This is in England.
But and that's finally, there are some countries starting to fucking feel their balls. What was it? It wasn't Ireland. God damn it. What country in Europe?
Sure, it was not Ireland. You got Poland, you got Hungary.
But recently said, all right, enough of these fucking Islamists coming in.
Oh, like Italy's been based as fuck lately.
Really?
Yeah.
Italy? That's exciting.
Italy's been real based.
Yeah, they're like, enough of this fucking, okay, we care about you, Syria. Maybe here's some money, but we're not gonna take any more of you motherfuckers in here.
Yeah.
This is too much. Yeah. It's too much, and not just too much resource-wise. And that's not even the fucking case here. I mean, if that was a case resource-wise that we were really upset about this, I mean, Trump is, and a lot of people are, but that's not even really the main problem. It's the culture of someone who hates fucking Jews. It's the culture of someone who thinks women should have their clits altered. It's the culture of someone who thinks that if you leave our religion, you should be killed, or you should be shunned, or you should be, it's the culture of that shit.
Yeah.
And you can tell me all you fucking want, all you fucking atheists who are really only selective atheists, meaning you're angry at Christian God. You're not angry. You don't believe in God. Maybe you don't believe in God, but you're just angry at Christian God.
Right.
You fucking liars. You can't tell me that, number one, you would say a fucking word to a motherfucker who wants to take somebody's clit. You wouldn't fucking say that because they're brown and you're fucking racist. You just want to have your purple hair and you want to love all brown people. No brown people can do anything bad. La 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 la. Ooh, evil white God. You're a dumbass. No Christian God is cutting off. I mean, I know that it's the Jews or whatever, but like Christian God, okay, that's one thing.
The circumcision argument has been gotten brought up lately, and it's just pathetic. They're really cutting off little girls' clits to circumcision.
There is, I know my recent guest Alana would be very upset with you. We talked about circumcision for like an hour, but she's also not super into, she's not a super leftist either. She doesn't consider herself a feminist, but no Christian God is anywhere in the world. Let's just say, obviously, jihadists are an extreme example, but no Christian God in any capacity is running is blowing up buildings right now. That's not what we're doing. Maybe fucking 30 years ago or 40 years ago, whenever remember the Protestants and the Catholics in Ireland were fighting for a long time. That's not happening right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? No Christian God anywhere on the world. Again, I'm not saying Christian God is doing it. People under the guise of their Christian God or their Jewish God or their fucking Buddhists God. No Hindu God is making motherfuckers blow up planes. And you motherfuckers, there is some crazy shit, and yet you fucking leftist atheists are just so fucking blind to it. You can't just say, okay, you know what? There's something wrong with the culture. Yeah. Not with the God, not with the race, not with the skin color, with the culture of Muslim. There's something fucking wrong with that shit.
The best meme is when the Arabic mob is just screaming with knives out, and it's like 1776, and then 1876 they're still screaming, 1976, and now it's in color and they're still screaming, and the other side is like people, becoming modernized and.
Oh my God.
There's an inherent problem with Islam.
There's a fucking problem, dude. And again, it's not fucking race. It's not skin color. It's not you're bad people from the womb. There is something wrong with the fucking culture. Yeah. With the shit you are. Just like there's something wrong in Kentucky. If you're a Kentucky white boy who fucking is teaching your kids to hate all black people, there's something wrong with your fucking culture.
It's just there's not a couple billion of them, and their system isn't disguised under not only religion, which is a huge disguise. Ask the Catholic Church about it. Oh. It's a huge cover. It's also a political system meshed in.
Yes.
And you could say, the Quran doesn't say this. Yes, but there's the Hadith, and there's the fucking another book, and then there's the personal autobiography of Muhammad, and they're all supposed to be just as valid as the Quran. And a lot of times you just go, the Quran is nothing, and that's the holy book, and they just brush off this other shit that's supposed to be followed, and it's supposed to be the word of God. And there's a lot going on that people don't know about. And I don't fucking want to sit and read. I watched a whole presentation of a Muslim scholar. They got these great presentations over in England at one of the fancy universities. They have people come and they do like presentations and debates. And the guy was just on point. I mean, I would never be able to spar with this guy.
Yeah.
Just absolute scholars in manipulation. Absolute scholars in it. And the only way we'll be able to fight back is with education.
Right. But
And
I mean,
I don't want to read this shit. I don't want to have to do it.
and on a real basis, let's stop the bleeding where we can.
Yes.
Right. One person was killed by the KKK in the last 2 years, and it was the dude with the car, right? I mean, otherwise we would be hearing a lot more about it, right? I mean, because that's their lifeblood. That's the news' lifeblood right now. That's their money train.
They go to Charlottesville
let's
every
hate
time.
white people.
Yeah.
If your only example of here's what white evil Christian God did, that's one motherfucker.
Yeah.
How many motherfucking people need to be killed by brown Muslim God?
Yeah. No one looks at England. All you have to do, we have a perfect experiment just across the water from us. Everyone ignores it.
Yes.
Everyone ignores. It's like, why? Can you just look over there for just a minute? New Year's Eve, stabbed, Allahu Akbar, motives unclear. 3 days before that, stabbings, Allahu Akbar, motives unclear. Don't know why he did this. Who knows what's going on?
Right.
Don't release the race of the person.
Right.
Ann Coulter's Law, once again, last night, mass shooting, 3 people dead. I got no race, I got no description of the killer.
Right.
I automatically know it's not a white guy. That's Coulter's Law.
Right.
There's people being stabbed up weekly.
Right.
Allahu Akbar, in the name of Allah, and now they go so far as to say they're not connected. I saw one quote from an article last month that said, just because he got out the car and said, I'm a Muslim, I'm doing this because of Allah, Allahu Akbar, fuck you, you're dead, does not mean he's a Muslim, and he did it because of blah, blah, blah.
Here, let's Google something. How many knife stab, or wait, no, that's not what I wanted to ask. Hang on. How many acid attacks in UK? No, not knife acid. That would be very interesting. Knife acid. Here we go. How many acid attacks in
Good
UK?
acid.
Corrosive substances are increasingly used as weapons in the UK, especially in London, which has more than 450 attacks, which had more than 450 attacks in 2016. London's Metropolitan Police have recorded more than 100 attacks in the first 4 months of this year. I guess so. This was last year in 2017. Many in East London. The most recent attack happened just last week. Okay, now let's change that to US. How many acid attacks in U.S.? Okay, that's giving me annually. You're not giving me the stats on acid throwing. I want to see acid throwing in United States.
Yeah, they don't exist.
That's the point that I was trying to, and it's making it so clearly to me. Epidemiology, would that get me? Here we go. Afghanistan. United States epidemiology, commonly known as, no, that's not giving me a fucking answer. Anecdotal evidence for acid attacks. All right, well, I can't find it in U.S.
Yeah,
but they were literally the first thing. It didn't even come up. Acid attacks, most common places for the crime. News.com.au. Acid attacks that melt the faces off victims in an instant are on the rise globally. Now, this is from what year? 2017. So this is last year, about a year ago. According to... Give me a fucking chart, bitch. God damn it. Come on, give me a fucking chart. Bangladesh, the UK. God, many, many pictures of fucking acid attacks. And nothing... Yeah, nothing about the U.S. I'm looking. I can't find it. But and that's what makes my fucking point. Can you imagine the shit that would be going off if there was an acid attack in the U.S.? Much less, especially if there was an acid attack and the perpetrator was a white person. You know what I mean? Remember just a few months ago, there was somebody white who stabbed 2 black girls on a BART train, and everybody immediately, they didn't have any exchange of words.
Nope.
No, he didn't shout anything about any God or any fuck niggers or any of that shit.
Nope.
And yet immediately it was racial, right? And yet these motherfuckers
Not
are
just
throwing
racial,
acid
white
in the face.
Supremacist.
Right. And it turns out, and I was talking about this on the podcast, not only was the fucking black person that was related to the females, like the father or the uncle, was saying in a press conference that day, hey, let's not rush to make this racial. The fucking the Latino police chief said, hey, let's not make this racial. So these two non-white motherfuckers saying, hey, don't make this racial, and everybody across, fucking Allison Pill, all these fucking stars, just white person attacked her, black person victim, must be racial. You're stupid. It's women. It's fucking contextless bitches. It's a lack of masculinity, you fucking idiots. God damn it. Don't you fucking get it? I'm sorry.
You know how I know? The guy that reached across the counter at McDonald's and grabbed up the McDonald's employee.
Right. I saw
you know
that.
how I would know he wasn't a Trump supporter? Because I didn't hear about that story.
Oh, right.
That's how I know.
He reached across and she fucking slapped him.
Oh, she beat him up. Yeah,
she beat him up bad. That was good. Him up.
But he grabbed her by the collar and pulled her over. If he was a Trump supporter, I would 100% know about it because it would be blasted all over the place.
Right. But white and black. But nobody even mentions like how many black people are doing some crazy shit all the time. Sean King is constantly sharing. So here's this poor black female that was killed by, like, you don't give a fuck about black lives, baby girl. Like, you don't give a fuck about black lives. Otherwise you would be sharing. Check out this innocent bystander that was killed in a gang shooting. Check out this little kid who was killed at a cookout because there was a stray bullet. You would fucking share that, but you're not sharing it because you don't care. You care about your side. You care about winning political arguments. Yep. You care about showing how much you care, but you don't care. No. You don't fucking care. No. Stupid ass fucking faggot ass Sean King. This is another fucking idea that I had. I don't know if you could get it down on this or not. I feel like mixed white and black makes the more annoying black guy. Here's why. Because they have the skin of a victim, but they have the shitty, snarky attitude of a white guy. So they have the shitty, snarky, I'm insecure about my... And that's legit. Many people, fucking Von DiCarlo, a bunch of mixed race people will tell you that when they're mixed race, when they're black and white, they catch shit from both sides, right? They catch shit because the black people are like, oh, look at this fucking half white guy. And the white people are saying like, oh, scared of the black guy. So you catch shit from both sides. So when you're a loner like that, fucking Jordan Peele, right? Yeah. Barack Obama, shitty-ass Trevor Noah, right? Sean King, who, by the way, looks white. But I'm saying, like, over and over, like, the most vocal, annoying, left-leaning people seem to be the most, like, I'm raising the flag for blacks. I talked about this on a couple of podcasts ago. Barack Obama, when he did that mic drop thing, that's the whitest thing anyone's ever done.
Yeah, he's the worst.
That's the whitest thing. Barack out. Obama out. Like, you're like Seacrest, dude. You don't. Yeah. You're fucking Regis Philbin. No, Obama, you're not fucking.
He was the worst race relations president ever. He had such an opportunity.
Right. Well, but then again, I don't think he was set up. I don't think he set himself up to have the opportunity. I don't think he set himself up to like do any real change. Do you think he went into it being somewhere in the center? Do you think he went into it that way? I mean I know
you have so many ways to go with it. You can be straight pro-black. You can be. Bring everybody together, you can totally leave the blacks behind if you want, but to stir up as much shit as he did, just it every time I'd see it happen, it'd just be like, wow, dude, he's really stirring this pot. There's no solutions coming out of that.
So Trump he's done something better. What is this First Step Act? Do you know anything about it?
Yeah, it's huge. It's prison reform. It's what Kanye was talking about.
Right. Okay. So Kanye did do something.
Yeah.
So what is the First Step Act? So prison reform meaning
reduce sentences for nonviolent stuff. Nobody's going to prison for weed anymore. Fucking.
Oh. Wow.
It probably went too far. What I was reading, there's like lightweight molestation and lightweight serious crimes that are getting a break on this deal. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Do they maybe have to write that into the law so that they can get hard when they need to, like on a case-by-case basis?
Sure. Yeah.
Maybe that's
they're definitely not handing out sentence guidelines, but they're reducing the mandatories and they're reducing the classes.
Right.
And there's been some backlash from police departments. I mean, it's crazy to me. Well, if black people can't realize how much Trump has done just for black Americans.
Right.
And if they can't realize that all these other groups are trying to piggyback on their shit, all the way down to a fucking Arab dude writing Black Lives Matter on his Stanford application. If that's not the pinnacle of this, if black people can't realize that the Democrats will throw them out completely for illegal immigrants because that's the topic of the day.
Right, that's the new victim.
If I don't know how so many people can't see this.
Well, because that's the thing is that immediately when someone who is black talks about being conservative, or like even when you know, I don't know if we talked about this, but the main reason why gay marriage didn't go through in 2008 was because of black voters.
Really?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah, Prop 8 was because of black voters. And so where's your stance on that? And that's the same thing. You think that all these you Ahmed Naid, whatever the fuck your stupid name is, who, by the way, is not, I mean, he may be Muslim, but he's a fucking white kid. He's an American kid. He may have brown skin. His parents may be Muslim. He don't give a fuck about no God. Come on, stop.
I hope not.
Oh, that's a good fucking, that was a good line.
I hope Islam gets watered down to complete trash, just like every other religion is.
God, that's a great, that's so fucking,
that'd be
so
the only
true.
hope. That'd be the only
Yes.
hope, is if they did come to America in mass numbers, that we just fucking ruined their religion.
Right.
It's not worth it to me.
That we McDonald's them up. Just like, I mean, Christians, even now, like I said earlier, they're watery at best. Like they're letting all the gays in, like, you know, and I'm not against it. I'm just saying, like,
go for it.
You know, but like, I don't think that there's a bridge between, or at least the bridge to watering it down is not to let everybody fucking in who believes everything. Because the other thing is, you think Ahmed, whatever his face, who wrote Black Lives Matter a million times, you think that the motherfuckers, if he's on the side of immigration, if he's on the side of just open, no walls ever work, man. Hey, no borders ever work, bro. Number one, you're a fucking faggot. You're a fucking an effectless. You cannot be properly fucked if you go to a march. You cannot properly fuck somebody or be properly fucked. Anyway, maybe one march. Maybe Folsom. But you think, does what's his face actually believe, letting all these motherfuckers in, that people, the people coming up from Honduras as an example, the fucking caravan, that they're into trans rights? Stop. They're not into fucking trans rights. No. You think the Muslims you want to let in from Syria are like super down to make a gay cake for you?
That's the train wreck. That's the train wreck I dream about, is when finally gay rights and Muslim activists, and it's happening with the Women's March, but not directly, but when that train finally collides, it's going to be so good.
Right.
It's going to splinter everything into 1,000 pieces.
Right. Because they're going to be like, wait, but I thought you were supposed to be on our side. You were our pet. You were going to vote for all the things we wanted you to vote for because, I mean, we let you into the country, right? I mean, we fought for you to let you in, and now you're throwing acid on our faces? Isn't that strange?
Throwing us off of rooftops?
Fuck, man. There's no persecution to gays right now. Not in America. There's not.
No.
A gay cake, just go down the street to make, like... It's not that big a fucking deal.
When are gay people getting pissed off about trans activists stealing all their thunder and making them look like assholes?
Right.
Did you see the wrestling chick is back at it again?
You mean the MMA fighter, or are you talking about ma'am?
The
GameStop ma'am?
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was fucking funny.
That was hilarious. I'm talking about the high school championship wrestler.
Who doesn't even give a fuck. She's not even, or he or she is not even trying.
She's trying to be a dude. No, she's trying to be a dude, and they won't let her compete with the men because it's Texas or somewhere. And they're like, get that shit out of here. Miss me with that gay shit. So she's on all kinds of estrogen blockers, testosterone, whatever it is, dominating. Two women bowed out last year, refused to fight. Only one did it this year, but what do you know?
But she was born a dude.
No.
Oh, you're saying she was born a she.
Wants to be a man.
In the
process.
In the process of taking hormones and is beating all the girls.
She's fucking ripped, yeah.
Okay. So a lot of dudes who have tried to transition to female have been winning in all these MMA things.
You see the handball?
Which one?
The handball over in England.
Handball?
Yeah.
What do you mean handball?
Or rugby. They're playing some.
That's funny.
Some British shit. I
What
don't
a
know.
funny turn of handball. Get it? All right.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah. Hey.
Hey. So wait, okay, because I know that
I
there
saw
was
a cheap ass joke the other. They got me though. Said, why should I be forced to accept trans people when they couldn't even accept themselves? I should
they had
be
to
better.
change their balls,
I
right?
should be
They
better
had to
than
cut
that,
off the
but
balls.
I'm not, dude. They got me.
But I didn't have a chance really to talk about it too much with the trans girl that I had on a couple episodes ago. But like,
I gotta peep that.
I get it if you're into, like, if you genuinely believe, you feel like you're born something different, my hat's off to you. Just don't start wrestling. If you have the bone structure, the mind, the body of a man who's taken some hormones or who has had surgery, like, you still have the bone structure, the bone density, you still have the body, the muscle mass of a dude. Don't wrestle girls. Right. Don't punch girls in the face. If you don't race girls, like, it's not a fair fucking fight. And you know that. Every fucking feminist gets afraid when they're walking down the block. If they're walking down every fucking feminist who's walking down a dark alley, are they afraid of a girl? No, dummy. You're afraid of a guy. And not because of his culture, his upbringing. No, because my bicep is the size of your face, stupid. Right. No, because I could rape you. That's why you're afraid, and you should be afraid of dudes. You shouldn't be afraid of some tiny little Mexican Latina chick coming, hey, I'm going to take your pussy. You're not afraid of that, and you know you're not afraid of that. You're afraid of dudes because you know how dangerous we fucking are because of our bone mass, because of our muscles. Fuck. Stop lying. Yeah. Sorry, I'm yelling in your nice place.
It's 0.3% of the population, and I hear about it all the fucking time, right. You know?
Right.
It's a nationwide issue for 0.3% of the population, most of whom kill themselves. And did you see the Twitter post from that, what was her name, Reality Winner? Changed his name to Reality Winner when he transitioned to a woman, got a government position. The one that leaked, I think he went to jail. He went in as a man and did the change and came out as a woman, got locked up for releasing classified information. I don't know. But now has a political position.
Oh, no, not Reality Winner.
No, that's somebody else.
Fuck.
Yes.
I know who you're talking about. God damn it.
Whatever
what's
the fuck.
Fucking name. Anyway,
Twitter.
Ahead.
Edge of a building. Shoots out a photo. Sorry, guys. Ready to fucking kill.
What do you mean?
Kill
herself?
Yeah. Real deal. On Twitter. Sorry, guys. After she got the position in government. Sorry, guys. I got to do it. Didn't end up doing it, but, I mean, what the fuck?
Holy shit.
Yeah. Talk about statistics.
Jeez.
1 out of 1 in government is ready to throw themselves off of a building. Like, there's some issues going on, you know?
Yeah.
Just do whatever the fuck you want to do, but...
Right, that's the libertarian. I mean, I haven't really talked to anybody who's been like, no, don't let them transition. It's not transphobia to say, hey, is and is, right? It's to say, hey, there's a difference between the sexes.
Going on,
it's not transphobia. Cut off your dick. I don't care. That's what I always say about, I take the same stance as Patrice when it comes to abortion. Kill your baby, bitch, but call it a baby. It is a living thing.
Right.
It is technically sucking the nutrients from your body. When they clamp down on its head and squish its head and pull it out of your fucking pussy, it is a fucking head and body and bone chunks that they're pulling out of your pussy. Don't call it, it's just a bundle of cells. Kill your baby, but call it what it fucking is. Right? Cut off your dick. I don't give a fuck, but don't say you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a real... And you know that in your... I feel like most people get that in their belly. In their head, they're a little scared of it. In their head, they feel like, I don't want to be on the wrong side of history. In their head, I don't want this trans person to feel like we're hurting them.
Right.
I don't want them to feel like we're hurting them either.
No.
But don't hit girls in the face.
Don't act like it's nothing.
Don't act like it's nothing.
If a dude walks by with a giant hat, he's got a giant hat, you know? if a dude walks by that looks like a lady, I might write a song that dude looks like a lady. Like... Because it's not fucking every day, you know?
Right.
And you can act like it's every day, and you can try and raise your kid gender neutral, and you can be let down when your daughter wants to play with dresses, and you can be let down when your son wants to play with trucks. And you can feel bad, and you can, whatever you want to do mentally, when you deal with reality, it doesn't match up.
And that's that goes back to that. I'm super libertarian when it comes to that. Like, go ahead and cut it off. But like, when it on the social construct level that we're talking about, the consequences for men are real and they're tactile. They're real. They're tangible. They are. I mean, when a guy posts things like, it's not the size of the ship, it's the motion of the ocean. Everybody, if a guy posted that on Facebook, we would all go, what a little fucking tiny dick motherfucker. And we would all be right? But if a girl, I talked about this, I think it was like back in the days when Facebook, or it might have been MySpace, back in the days when Facebook had more groups that like you could like a group or like a page and share it, like you were a part of a group that would share memes, right?
Yeah.
There was this group that was, I'm not scarred. My body's not messed up. I'm a tiger who's earned her stripes.
Oh yeah, the cutters and all. Yeah.
Right. Or I don't have stretch marks. It's because I'm such a warrior. Yeah. Like, why are we not going faggot ass bitch? Like, you have stretch marks. Shut up. I'm not saying you're a bad person.
I do all the time myself. Personally.
But like, a tiny dick is a tiny, call it what it is, right? But the social consequences of being a female and talking out of the side of your neck, there are no social consequences anymore, except for me. Except for real ass dudes who will fuck you the first time, realize that you're a pain in the ass, and not call you back. And you want to be on Oprah saying like, I'm a hero because I'm moving forward. Have you ever wondered that maybe you're the problem? Have you ever wondered why that?
I saw a pretty self-aware post the other day, and some woman was like, "Look, I'm a total feminist, and I'm down with all this shit, but we're losing. Somehow we're losing. We're getting all this more and more and more freedom, and we're fucking losing." Right. And it was like I could see her like beginning to open up. Like something's not right here.
Right.
Something's not right here.
Right. Because that's the other thing. You can march for women, all the blah blah blah. But I've talked about it like this. Ronda Rousey, Amanda Nunes, maybe not Amanda Nunes, she's lesbian, but like of straight fighters, sure, they could beat my ass, absolutely. But can they beat fucking John Jones?
Yeah.
No, you can't, right? And not just that, but Ronda Rousey, who could beat up fucking tons of dudes, also wants her man to be able to fucking handle her.
Yeah.
Okay? She wants a man. She's not going to be going out with fucking Ben Wyatt, right? That's not going to happen. And if it does start to happen, she eventually cheats on him. Because she want a man. Don't get mad at nature. That's nature. Don't blame us. Yeah. Don't blame the social construct. Your pussy tells you what you're attracted to, not the social construct, right? Social construct right now, as an example, is telling me to be all into fucking Kim Kardashian's ass. Fuck Kim Kardashian. Fuck Kim. I don't give a fuck about Kim Kardashian. Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, not just the amount of plastic that's in that fucking bitch, but like, I'm just not attracted to her. She just looks like she smells like hairspray. She just looks like she smells like she hasn't showered but has to spray. You know what I mean? Because a lot of black females.
I think she's beautiful, but I was just shown a bunch of pictures. Every time I tell women that I think this other star is beautiful or whatever, right, they show me all the good shit. And she showed me all the old pictures of Kim back in the Paris Hilton days and before all the surgeries.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't even fuck her.
No.
It's crazy.
No, that family before all the plastic was ugly. Oh. You know what I mean? O.J. Simpson helped those guys so much, but that's the social construct. But my dick knows what I'm attracted to. You know what I mean? Like, and obviously I would fuck her, but there's a difference between who I'm attracted to and who I would.
Yeah, but that's semantics. There's a giant. There's no disconnect there. There is a complete disconnect with women, and that's why they're getting everything they want, and they're unhappier than ever. Right. And that's why they're getting everything they want, and society is crumbling bit by bit because of it.
Right.
Because there's a huge disconnect from what women want and what they think and say and feel.
Right. There's a difference between what a woman thinks she wants and what she actually wants.
It's got to be tiring. They're split at all times,
Right.
I mean, they're two people every time of the month.
Right.
They're split in the most, that's like the pinnacle of the thing. Sure. But just in general, they're always split, always battling. Like,
right. And not just that, but like on a great example of that is how many women, even though they may be feminists and you may be super into marching and super into, you know, blah, 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 blah. How come I've heard so many of you tell me this same sentence? Well, I don't know. I mean, and again, you can't explain it either. But I'll hear this sentence or some version of this sentence. Well, I don't want a guy I can just boss around. Like, stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
I'll tell you on a real basis.
Did those two break up from your podcast yet? That was like the first episode I listened to. I don't mean to harp on it, but that was like the first one I listened to.
No, they didn't know.
Oh, good luck, you two.
Oh, my God.
Anyways.
Be gentle.
Anyways.
Be gentle. But, like, how come I've heard so many? But I'm going to tell you on a real basis. That's not something I, quote unquote, look for in a female. Oh, I need a girl who can stand up for herself. No, because I know, like, I'm not an abusive cunt. And so I don't need someone who needs to stand up for themselves, right? But girls know that they're abusive. Girls know that they're going to find the line and test the line to make sure that if you can stand up to me, you can stand up to somebody who's going to knock down our fucking door and rape and kill me.
In all ways.
Right?
Social, physical,
exactly.
every way.
If you can't stand up to me, why the fuck would I think that if you and I are walking down the street, you're going to protect me?
Yeah.
Right? Because girls know in their bones, we are more physically vulnerable. Right? Girls know that they are more physically vulnerable. So why wouldn't you want someone who's less fucking physically vulnerable? You know what I mean? But if you're gonna go to a store with me and you genuinely, like, if I'm a girl and I take my dude hostage to the store and he's just gonna sit there, whatever you say, dear. Nope, you don't look fat. I'll just sit here like a fucking I'm not saying I can't go to the store with a girl, but like if I genuinely don't have the patience, if I have the patience to wait, I'll have the patience to dick around on my phone, whatever, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But if I don't have the patience and I'm just gonna sit there like a bitch, she knows that, right? There's little ways that girls test you to make sure that you're with your shit, and if you don't pass those fucking tests,
like all the time,
you're relentless, and it's subconscious relentless.
Oh yeah, half the time they don't know.
There was this weird point. I talked about a different example, but you listen to Patrice, right? Patrice O'Neill?
Oh yeah.
And he would talk about this example of how you go to a restaurant with your girl, you sit down and you order for yourself a steak and French fries, and the waiter brings a steak and rice. And if your girl says, "Hey, he ordered the French fry," it's a small thing, right? I mean, it's just fucking starch, right? No. Hey, bitch, I can handle what my sides are. If he brings me rice and I'm okay with it, I'm gonna eat the fucking rice. I'd rather eat the rice than the hassle, or I'll send it back my fucking self. I will say something. I don't need you to make it to be the mouthpiece for me. I make my decision on my starches, bitch. You know what I mean? Like, relax.
But it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter, but it does. Totally does. It totally does. And not just to us, but to them.
I tried to live my life like that for a good chunk of time.
What do you mean?
This shit shouldn't matter. So I'm just not going to, I'm going to act like it shouldn't matter.
Right.
The results were devastating. Like,
what's an example, if you don't mind? Like in a relationship?
Yeah, with women. Like the things that shouldn't matter, act like they don't matter. Like, whatever, rice and French fries. I can't think of an exact thing. So but I know the exact results was less success with women.
Yep. Right.
Which equates to a less happy existence.
Right.
Which equates to fuck that.
Right. And less happy women too. Like when I'm being more of a bitch, like in my life, because we all go through, our mojo's not on, right?
Yeah.
When I have those times.
Did you ever have a woman ask you what's wrong, know what's really going on, and you say it, and they're so disappointed? You're like, what? Begging you to, like, open up or say what's going on, what's really going on.
Right.
If you do that, I've never had a positive response from a woman before, ever.
What do you mean? Like if something's wrong, like if you're like jealous about something, or like
anything where they're like, just open up, just tell me, just what's going on. I've never actually done it and had a positive response. It's always very negative. The same things that they were begging me and asking me to do.
Oh, I see. Like, so the whole wanting it both ways thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't really want to hear about your day. They don't. They really don't. No matter how much.
Shit. And I definitely know they do not want to hear if you tell them honestly what you want sexually. Like, hey, I love you and I want to be in a relationship with you, but I want my dick to be wrapped in other people's vaginas. They don't, you know what I mean? Like they want you.
I can understand that. You know? That's not
Just
something.
from time
that's
to
not something you
time.
can request. That's just
No, I think you can request it if done the right way. Absolutely. If
I'm just saying it's something you earn. It's just something that you got to give yourself. You got to treat yourself in life.
Right, but you but you start it in the nice way, meaning like, hey, let's have a girl over. You know what I mean? Here's
sure.
the benefits to someone licking your pussy while I fuck your mouth. You know what I mean? Here's the benefits to, you know what I mean, to this other person involved. And you try it out. Or you, hey, I'm not going to be in a relationship with you.
You get to keep me, you know? I'm not going to leave.
That's what I'm saying. If you're fucking, I mean, but so many women are like, that means risk. And that's what it is. That's what it is. They want the security of knowing you're not going to leave, but they don't want the risk of trying to find out how to actually keep you sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
no, they want it all.
They want it all.
Feel
right.
like
they
you
don't
can
want
leave. They want to have you themselves, but feel that you could be gone at any second.
It's incredible shit.
It's so fucked up.
Females are so crazy.
It's so fucked up, and it bothers me to the core of me. I would have so much more in my life. I would have so much more people and so much more women in my life because I love that shit. I always have.
Absolutely.
From as young as I can remember, I've always loved that connection between a man and woman because it's like nothing else.
Yep.
It's so real and it's so, I mean, it's like pure joy.
Yeah.
When you get in that zone and just the masculine and the feminine energy are just bouncing off each other and it's perfectly compensated, it's everything looks good. Everything looks possible, good. Infinity just stretches out. I've always loved that. And just coming to see just the details of it, just little things like that.
Right.
It fucking bothers me and I can never get over it.
Well, it's because innately, from a naturist perspective, they're getting they have to be insecure on the back end. You know what I mean? Like also Patrice talked about. Men get screwed on the front end, women get screwed on the back end. Front end means it's super hard to get pussy. We have to get to this. We have to make sure my nails are nice. We have to have a game. We have to be making money. We got to have a job. We got to have a car. We got to blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck if a girl works at McDonald's for me to fuck her.
Right.
But like I said, in order for me to stay with your ass, there are certain things you have to, you know what I mean? You have to have not the same things, but like there are a list of things.
Which works because women improve the shit out of themselves when the pressure is put on them.
Sometimes. Except for the fucking January bitches who are fucking.
I mean, there's rejects on every side, but I've seen just from being like with me and in relationships with me and what we built, I've seen women just build up their whole life, you know?
Right. But I mean, like, so in order for that to happen, a woman has to have not the humility, but the insecurity of knowing that she's not perfect the way she is, right? Just like you and I face the insecurity. We face the rejection.
Every second of every day, yeah.
Of going up to a female and going, hey, would you like to fuck me in one way or another? Whether we're being smooth or we're being nice, we're trying a bunch of different ways. Sure. Would you like some dick? Like Chris Rock said,
that's the end game. But on the day-to-day, creating things, winning.
That's true.
Fucking building.
Right.
I mean, every day
rejection,
and
right?
It's a must.
It's a must.
It's a drive.
It's a must.
Hustle.
Otherwise, we die spiritually, and eventually we have to die physically.
It's a grind.
Or take people out with a fucking truck like that incel in Toronto.
Yeah.
But like, the rejection that women face is on the back end.
Yeah.
The rejection is, he might leave.
Yeah.
And this is, makes me feel, especially if you fuck him right and you treat him a little mean but nice. Like if you're, okay, the lyrics, ladies and gentlemen, all you fucking leftist feminists, look up the lyrics to Rough Lover by Aretha Franklin. Ready? I'm going to look up to fucking, here.
Yeah, I don't know it off the top.
Dude, when I heard it the first time, I was like, baby, Aretha. Lyrics to Rough Lover, Aretha Franklin.
Well, she was just beaten down by the patriarchy back then, you see.
She says, this is what she says. She says, now listen here, girls. I'm going to tell you what I want right now. I want a rough lover. I want a man. I want a rough, tough lover, and I'll find him if I can. The verse 1 is, he's got to bite nails, fight bears, and if I get sassy, be a man who dares to shut me up and kiss me so I know he cares. I want a man. Don't want a meek daddy. I want a boss. I want a mean, sweet daddy who the devil wouldn't cross. He's got to spit fire, chew iron, get mad, and start roaring like a mountain lion, then whisper that he loves me so I know he's mine. I want a man. So you understand what I'm saying? She wants a mean daddy, but who's sweet to me.
No one ever wrote a song about the beta.
No! That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking... you understand? Exactly. I want a man who's brave and strong, but weak for me, right? Who won't let me push him around. Your body knows that. But in order for that to happen, you got to risk, girls. And because it's so easy for girls to just get the front end satisfaction, because there's constantly us offering dick and offering this vague promise of maybe I'll be in a relationship with you, it's easy for girls to let go. Maybe not easy, but it's easier for them to rebound and find something else. Maybe this will work. It's constantly a lottery system. Maybe this is my lucky number. Maybe this is my lucky number. With us, it's constantly throwing money in this pot going, I hope this works. But once we get it, we're like, I already got it. Really? Yeah, we like love. We love relationships, but we don't need security the way you do in your bones, in your nature.
No.
My security doesn't come from that. My security, honestly, comes from knowing that I can support myself and that I can support somebody else. My security comes in, I'm more myself today than I ever have been. I'm creating this podcast. I'm creating this music. I'm fully self-supporting.
That's it, yeah.
That's my security. That's where my balls is, right? And a girl's balls, for the lack of a better term, her security does not normally come from that. Not that she can't be self-supporting. Of course she can. A lot of females...
Different topic.
A lot of females doing lots of different things.
Yeah.
But it's not the same, you know? Anyway. I ranted a lot. Are you all right?
Yeah, no, we're good. Turned into the love hour.
That's what I'm saying. I want female. Actually, you know what? That would be great to have people call in and just be like, "Listen, here's what's wrong with you.
Yeah.
You need. Yes, he is cheating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would. No, to have people call in and just like, nah, bro. Here's what you need to do to, that would be an interesting. I would love to do a live show.
It's been done, but that would be cool.
It has been done.
It's like back in the 70s type of thing.
Exactly. But think about who's doing it now. Nobody's doing it now. Patrice did it back in fucking when he had the Black Phillip show.
No, it's just straight podcast now, guests, but no live stuff.
Right. And I could do a live thing, but like I think Joe Rogan is the biggest live one. But number one, I don't even ever listen to it when it's live.
He doesn't take calls, does he?
No, of course not. No, definitely not. So
you can plug something in right there from a phone. And like speakerphone right into it.
Ooh, shit. Yeah, but then I have to get a new... Yeah, I just have to get a new line.
It's an upgrade, dude.
Patreon.com/conservative. Give me fucking money, cocksuckers. Leave a review on iTunes and all that shit. I gotta piss real bad. Do you want to end or do you want to keep going?
We could finish right there.
All right. I'm
Unless
down.
you have some topics. I don't know.
I gotta piss so fucking bad I can't even think of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well... You should turn off the mic already.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, go to patreon.com/conservative or like us on follow and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. Leave us a review wherever you're listening now. And follow me on Instagram at Peter_Feliciano. You don't have anything to promote, do you?
I got nothing to promote. Go America. Donald Trump is the greatest president probably in American history. And if I could say one thing to anybody, is just listen to one of his press conferences or rallies. Just sit back and watch one of the rallies from the campaign or a recent press conference and just with an open mind.
Right.
Because there's so much programming and so much garbage and so much hate. Just open up the mind for a little bit and see what happens. I've never had anybody come away feeling worse about the man.
Interesting.
There's so much garbage and pollution thrown on top that it's doubly impactful when people actually give him a shot and listen, because it's not what they say and it's so much better than they thought.
Right on.
Give the president a chance, everybody.
_Donald. Bye, everybody.